We have
So
many
you, George.
shows.
So what you, Kevin?
Not yet.
Aren't you 30 on Friday, next Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said soon.
Right.
Fight me.
Okay. We are going to do something different on the show today. We're going to have a fight. Picture it in your mind.
We kind of already do that because of Joe.
Why? Because what?
Wait, you were nodding your head, Joe, as he said it.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I was like, wait, what?
That's great.
So, do you want me to mention the stuff about Jumanji up here, or to mention it when we talk movies?
No, we talk
Okay.
reviews, movies.
Gotcha. I will say this, in this portion of the show, I did watch Knives Out. I did go see it. It's a
And?
good movie.
Good.
Good movie. Kept waiting for a twist. Liked that there really wasn't one. Thought it was very good.
A friend of the show, Jeff, also says it's a great movie.
He's been reviewing the hell out of movies, man.
Yeah.
He's been going to see a lot of them.
Because of damn it, I'm sad that he's not on this episode.
No.
Because of him, I ended up watching Quinn and Slim. That was good.
Yeah.
Queen.
Okay.
Queen.
I'll try to go
Yeah.
see it.
You said Quinn.
Yeah,
Oh.
you definitely said quit.
Sorry, I'm just gonna blame the cold and
That's
drinking
fine.
hot tea.
That's fine. Or blame Jeff. That's fine.
Um,
I'm joking.
does anybody have anything? We got George here playing with his new toys. Got some new pops. Everybody
Yeah.
got Fumikaze.
Okay.
Starts that you watch the show. I don't
Yeah.
watch the show.
So it's just My Hero Academia pops. They released another.
1,700 of them.
Yeah, another bunch of them. But there was a box lunch exclusive that I wanted to get, which for those who watch My Hero Academia, it's All Might in his weakened state after he loses his power, and he just has one really beefed out arm.
Mm-hmm.
He's been locked in his room for a while. But no. So then he also has the two other classmates, Kirishima and Togoyami. Their individual powers kind of suck, but the writer makes them actually pretty cool. One can make his skin as hard as diamond, essentially.
So Emma Frost.
Yeah,
Emma
I'm
Frost.
Yeah, but it just looks like stone, and it looks more demonic every time he does it.
And the other one looks like a pigeon.
Yeah, he has a bird head, and he has a
Giotto.
living shadow.
Yeah.
He has a living shadow that just comes out and it's like, hey, what's up, hello? That sometimes loses control in nighttime.
Isn't that kind of like his Dark Materials?
No,
No.
those are their souls,
I mean, okay,
and they're independent too.
yeah, this was attached to him, but I guess kind of like that, but it's independent of him, but it's
Like a symbiote.
yes,
There you
big
go.
symbiote.
That's a better one.
Yeah, because he could actually do forms and different shadow creations and whatnot. But yeah, both powers sound absolutely ridiculous, and the writer makes them, actually really cool and stand out.
This line has like a million pops.
Yeah,
It's really, and there's so many variations,
keep-
And they don't
limits,
stop.
no,
and some of them are really expensive.
I think they beat Dragon Ball already. And Dragon Ball
That's
has
a
been
tough
going.
No,
that's a tough one.
There's a new
Bro.
Vegeta released like every 3 months.
There's a new Almighty released every 2 seconds.
You might have.
There's probably like 2 more since we've been talking.
There's a glow-in-the-dark version coming. There's a T-shirt version coming. I think
It's
one
just-
in the tub.
So-
Wait, what the hell's a T-shirt version of a pop?
They,
He
you see
comes
how he's
with
got
the
this.
t-shirt.
So he's got the Eternia shirt on.
Yeah.
They
So
sell
be
a
pop.
pop with the shirt.
Right. Combo.
Okay.
Like a number one.
Yeah,
in
so that's
the
like the figures of them on the
I
t-shirt.
For
thought it
those-
was like 2D. I was like, what's the point? It's not a pop.
For those listening, Joe's wearing an Eternia pop He-Man t-shirt. So
I had to buy it.
That's a great
if it
shirt.
made it in my size, I would have bought it. Unfortunately, that's the problem of being a fat man. Nobody wants to acknowledge my existence.
You should grow out, Joe. You should grow out your son's hair and then give him the He-Man bob.
I would do that. That sounds good.
Hey, he would win kindergarten.
He would grow that out before we get the Batman, by the way.
Oh my god!
Someone is bitter about no Batman. I know, Kevin, are you going to watch Crisis? You going to watch the crossover?
Yeah, of course.
Are you gonna watch the crossover?
I'm behind.
I'm gonna watch it as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm behind.
I will watch.
You'll watch it? Okay.
Yes.
I just want to say I've watched all 3 episodes, and I'm not caught up on anything. I just went into it.
Okay, is it okay? Like you weren't
Yeah,
disoriented?
The
or
only
something?
thing is you don't. I knew that Tom Cavanaugh's character, I always forget his name, Wells, was going to be Pariah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Apparently on Flash you find out how he becomes Pariah. In this he's already Pariah.
Okay.
And then you find out on Arrow how Diggle's wife becomes Harbinger. But
Cool.
we knew that if you had watched some of the episodes, you knew that she was talking to the Monitor already.
Right.
So going into the show, it's not a huge curve.
Right, so like me, I don't watch anything. I can
You're
just jump.
fine.
Right.
I mean,
you're
but
fine.
for that I catch up. I'm literally only 2 or 3 episodes behind on Arrow and Flash.
Yeah, so you're
Oh, so you're right there.
Right, so I might as well catch up and then watch these 3.
Yeah.
But then what sucks is we're not gonna get the ending of Crisis until next year. Because after 3 episodes, they're pausing for the break
until January,
and then the finale is a double episode next month.
Yeah.
Suspense, right? Itself, something.
I will say there are a lot of surprises, a lot of payoff.
Okay.
And I was very shocked and I was very pleased. That being said, the first episode, which was the Supergirl episode, whoever directs those Supergirl episodes or writes those Supergirl episodes needs to be taken out to the back of the shed and shot. Because that first episode was terrible.
Jesus.
But that being said, the next 2 were actually really good.
Okay.
All right. So it builds up.
It does. But like I said, there are a lot of cameos. A lot of cameos.
I can imagine what
Cameos-
the amount of cast.
Cameos meaning it's just like people just get like seconds worth of screen time.
Some do. Some get a little bit more than that. I will say that a lot of people were talking, and it doesn't really affect anything. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, they're not going to include Titans. It's not going to be a part of this." It's part of this.
What?
Only for a second, but it is part of it.
But it confirms that the Titans universe is part of the CW universe.
In a way, it's one of the Earths.
It's one of the Earths, yeah. So it's all
Okay,
inside.
something was spoiled for me on Twitter, but I don't understand the context. Why was there some kind of praise towards Damon Lindelof?
I don't know.
Yeah, there was something about that there, and I was like, what? And I'm thinking here about some kind of Watchmen connection, like in the comics.
There might have been a Watchmen connection that I missed because there are cameos from, like, okay, I'm just going to spoil it because it's just in the beginning of it. The very first thing you see is Robert Wool from the '89 Batman sitting on a bench. That's the very first thing you see, and he's playing Knox from
That's
that movie.
funny.
So they acknowledge that the '89 Batman is part of one of the Earths, and it's there. And then there's one cameo that is longer than some of the others that had already been debunked. That they already said it's not going to happen, and it happens.
That's
I read
crazy.
about that one. That one was spoiled for me.
That was
Yeah, and I'm okay with that. I was like,
Because
that's
I
cool.
saw Michael Keaton's. That he's in like a newspaper or something.
Yeah, I think he's on the paper that
Right,
Knox is reading.
That he married Selena or whatever.
The paper that we
Something
had
like
says Batman catches Joker.
Okay, what?
So maybe it's going to come back later.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I saw. Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention that.
How was that's my one and last question, because I don't want to get anything spoiled, Justin.
Yeah.
How was the Smallville cameos?
Unfortunately, the Smallville cameo, while it was nice to see him again, was a letdown for me.
Oof.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dang.
because of how it plays out.
Okay.
But
What was your favorite then? What was your favorite cameo?
the one I can't mention.
The one he came
Okay,
into.
fine, that's fine.
But the stuff with Brandon Routh being Superman, awesome.
Cool. No, nice. Cool.
So just curious, just wanted to bring that up. I also wanted to bring up right now, currently on Sideshow, they've brought back, if anybody knows, the Mythos line of Star Wars statues, which are statues that are done not based off of anything, not based anything off any artwork known. It's actually the sculptor kind of imagines a character within a certain context and creates a sculpture based off of that and turns it into a statue. A lot of people know the Darth Vader one that they did a couple of years ago, it has 3 different configurations where it's all Vader standing there and he's got a lot of yellow tint to him because he's supposed to be standing in front of a lava pit. And you could actually have it with the helmet off and him with the helmet in his hand. And he's actually contemplating his life as Vader.
Cool.
Which is a really cool statue. I'll post a picture of it on the Instagram. But the new ones are Darth Sidious and Asajj Ventress. And the Asajj Ventress is fucking amazing. In fact, I'm hoping to get some kind of Christmas gift card for Sideshow so I can order it. Because I really, really want it. Asajj Ventress is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
Mara Jade is the only one that's even more favorite than Asajj Ventress. So I'm very happy to see that. And this past weekend, I did go back to Galaxy's Edge again for a birthday party. Still great, still amazing, still holding up. If you're thinking of going to ride the new Rise of the Resistance ride, forget it. You're not getting on it. Unless you decide to get there 4 o'clock in the morning, just let it go. Mm-hmm. Wait until the new year because it's not happening.
That's what I'm going to do. Wait till later.
Other than that,
and I'm hearing it's great. I'm hearing it's like even better.
From what I've heard, It's like the best ride ever created.
Wow.
Yeah.
From what I saw YouTube videos.
You saw the YouTube. See, I started watching the YouTube video and I stopped.
I loved it.
About
what I saw.
5 minutes. Few minutes into it because I was like, I don't want to know anymore. I want to ride the ride. I want to be friend. But from what I saw, it was already amazing.
Yeah.
What did the line look like? 2 hours?
No way.
3?
What, the wait?
Yeah.
There was no wait. It was all virtual queues. It was all boarding groups.
Oh.
So you had to go in and you had to sign in and you join a boarding group.
Right.
And then you get the privilege of waiting in line. The problem is that the boarding groups sold out before 8 o'clock in the morning. Park doesn't open until 9. Okay, but everybody that gets there, because what first happened was people were getting there like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to wait in line.
Right.
So many people showed up that Disney just said, "Fuck it, let them in," and they let them in, and they let them start doing the boarding group thing, even though they said that was not going to participate in the extra magic hours in the morning. They still did it. So people who showed up at 9 for Park Open were fucked. So then they said, "Okay, we're going to do extra magic so people can come in at 8 o'clock in the morning." Well, people were still showing up at 4. They were still letting them in. So it was still the problem. So now they've actually changed the rules again. They're going to open Hollywood at 7 o'clock in the morning. They're not going to let anybody in until 7. And there's no giveaways on far as boarding groups until 7 o'clock. So you have to, even if you get there at 4, all you're getting is a place in line.
I heard a lot of the resort people were complaining because they're
Yeah.
like, we are staying on property. We should be allowed in first.
Yeah.
True, because
And it's
with
true.
the
I
resort, you
agree.
get the magic hours.
I agree.
Yeah.
But they were mixing it with normal people.
Yeah,
Right.
well, because people were showing up to wait in
Right.
line, and they were like, there's just too many people standing out there.
Right.
Let
They
them
should have
fuck
a
in.
separate.
All they saw were dollar signs. They're like, these
No.
people could be in here buying shit.
Of course.
Let them the fuck in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Fucking Joe saying normal people, bunch of normies.
Yeah.
you fucking normies.
Normies in my
Floridians.
resort lawn.
Well, no. If you're, I agree. If you're staying on property, you should be let. in first.
I wanted to ride the gondola, but we didn't get a chance to this time.
No.
So
Joe, do you think you'd ride the Resistance ride before we get the Batman movie?
Yes. Luke will ride the resistance ride before.
Luke,
Oh my god!
Luke will operate the
Exactly.
resistance right now.
He'll be working at this.
Operate and operated well.
Yeah.
He'll be one of the characters. He'll play Kylo Ren in the ride.
Yeah.
Hell, Luke, at this point, Luke might be the one directing Flash.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I mean,
His agent is saying he's trying to get him the role.
I think he'll do a great job.
I want to see the storyboards.
wait. We don't have a director yet for Flash. I thought we have a date, but we don't have no director.
No, I think we have a director for Flash.
Okay, I'm like, wait.
You can't even say that because you know the directors change.
At this point,
That's
I don't remember who the fuck it is anymore.
Because there's just so many that came and left.
Right, because the last one I remember was from Ayua, and he left like 2 directors ago.
Yeah, because they were pulling it back. And then, is Ezra Miller still writing it?
That's what no one knows.
Oh, God, there's no information on this.
No one knows. Not even Ezra knows.
Andy Muschietti.
Not
is
even
still
Warner Bros.
attached.
knows.
Not even Ezra Miller knows.
Is it? Weren't you excited for Muschietti?
For what?
Andy Muschietti? Wasn't he the IT director?
But he's that's true. That was the
okay.
last one. That's true.
So
You're
he
right.
stayed on still. Jesus, he's hanging on.
And they're still saying they're going to base it off of Flashpoint too, which I think is.
I mean, it makes sense because you got to clean up the
That,
universe.
that worries me now after the way he handled multiple storylines with It 2, and it was a fucking mess.
It was a mess.
Ooh,
After
I
how
agree.
good It 1 was.
Yeah, I agree. One's way better than two.
Yeah.
So that being said, let's get into some comics, guys. You got any news? Anybody got any news for comics? I don't really have anything. Did I hear anything?
I've been
Ear to the
seeing
ground?
the solicitations for like March coming, like 2022. So I know, Justin, you pointed out the whole Star Wars Bounty Hunters.
Yes, that I thought was really cool.
Yeah, because it had Boba Fett, IG-88.
Well, it's going to be just a bounty hunter book, so it's going to be. I think it's going to be an anthology where it's just different people for different stories. I do remember them saying, because we get in Thor with Donny Cates, there was another book come. Oh, they're advertising Guardians with what's his
Al
name?
Ewing.
Yeah, Al Ewing.
I'm excited for it just because I'm a huge Guardians fan.
You take it or leave it.
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Oh, the Kylo book.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, that
Kylo, I will
Say
be
Batman.
reading.
Yeah, but sorry.
was that
thinking
already
the Kylo book.
already mentioned before on the show?
Yeah, we talked about
George
10
Jimenez?
years. Yeah. After George Jimenez was just announced. We didn't know the artist with Tinian.
Yeah.
So
So
now-
No, it was supposed to be what's his name to be the cover artist was Daniel.
That's Tony as Danny.
Tell me, Daniel, that guy.
but
It's
is he
supposed to be
doing
him.
cover and then George Jimenez doing the inside?
I don't
But
know.
either one is incredible.
Yeah.
Either one is so
okay
good.
with that.
Oh, and then we've been getting more and more previews of from Tom King and Mitch Gerald's that we've been getting more and more previews of Strange Adventures.
Mhm.
Well, and they look cool. It looks like a romantic sci-fi. like we're gonna get more. Damn it, what's the
Very, very Flash Gordon-y.
Oh, damn it, what's the name of the planet?
Ran.
Ran.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, we were getting a lot of Ran, and then and Tom King previewed that it will be 2 stories told simultaneously.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
The story of what happened and the story we tell ourselves. I don't know what that means,
His perception of it, probably.
right?
Okay. I don't really think there's anything else that I wanted to bring up. I'll start if we want to get into the comics.
Oh, I did have a question for you, Justin, because we've been seeing artists posting the variants for this, and I'm not familiar with what it is. What's Marvel's X?
I know what that is. Okay, so they did Kingdom Come for DC. One of my almost
Right.
my favorite story they've ever done. Before that, they had done a book called Marvels, where Alex Ross drew the entire book.
So Marvel did that.
Yeah, Marvel did that. Well, then later they did a storyline called. It started off as Earth X, then it became Universe X. Wait a minute, it was Earth X. There's three series. It was Earth X, and I think it ended with Universe X. I think that was the last one. In fact, I still have a giant poster on my wall, framed from that storyline because I liked all the artwork that they did. Because the last series, Universe X, had a connecting covers, and it was big cover. It had all these different things, and it formed Captain Marvel, which I thought was really cool. The original Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Not
So
current.
Vaughn, Wendell Vaughn,
Marvel.
Marvel. Who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of the original Quasar.
There you go. So what it was supposed to be like Kingdom Come. It was supposed to be the future of the Marvel Universe. And in the future of the Marvel Universe, things were happening. Things had changed. Like Spider-Man became giant and fat.
Nice.
There were so many things. It's so hard to keep all in my head. I remember there was a big fight before the book had started, and it was like the fight to end all fights in New York. And then the Absorbing Man was with the Absorbing Man, and they ended up getting him to be frozen because whatever he absorbed froze him in place. And in his hand was the Eternal Flame.
Oh.
And the Eternal Flame at the end of the book turned out to be Silver Surfer.
Nice.
So, I mean, it was not a great series, but I've read all 3 series that they did for it. This book you're talking about, Marvel's X, is supposed to be how they got to that point. It's supposed to be like a prequel to how they got to those storylines.
So it's the bridging to that future.
Yes. So I read all 3, and I can honestly tell you, I really wouldn't recommend reading them. It's not great. Kingdom Come is way better. Let's put it that way. Of course, I read that writer. And the art in them, Alex Ross only did the covers, and then all the artwork inside was somebody else. But, whatever. I'm trying to think now. But yeah, I really wouldn't. It's not something I would say, hey, go back and read. It's not really worth it. It really isn't.
I mean, let's see who's the creative team on Marvel's X next year.
Yeah. I will say this, you bringing up variant covers did remind me of this. Coming up is Wonder Woman 750, and they are doing a lot of variants for 750, and there are some really, really nice ones out there. Torpedo Comics is getting their own variants. They're getting 3 variants by Jim Lee, all different eras of Wonder Woman, rather. And then they're doing a spot color version where the whole cover is black and white, except for Wonder Woman. She's the only thing in color on the cover, which is really nice. And then they're doing sketch covers for all of them.
I like that. I like covers or any form of art that plays with colors like that.
Yeah. I know Campbell did a bunch of covers. I ordered 2 of Campbell's covers. He did 3. I didn't really care for the 3rd one. But everybody's doing pretty much, yeah. Like they did for 1000 for Detective 1000 for Superman or Action 1000. They're trying to do the same thing for this. So,
well, yeah, 750 is still another milestone.
Yeah, so the covers, and then this is the spot covers. So
a bunch of covers.
Nice. That one's a nice one for us to post on the Instagram.
Mm-hmm. So they're not cheap, but they're
I'm sure not. Yeah.
It's $275 for all 9 covers, rather, excuse me. So they ain't cheap. So that was the only other thing I wanted to bring up as far as news goes.
And then,
well, if we want to get into comics,
yeah,
I'll start because I read Venom 20 on your recommendation.
fuck yeah.
I was going to read it anyway, but because you said read it, I put it to the top of the list.
But I put it in all caps. It's
Yeah.
like, I even tagged you, Justin. You have to read.
And I was like,
Venom 20.
okay. Went to the top of the pile. I went home that night and I read it, and I was just like, wow, wow. So the whole book takes place. It's the Baker explaining to whoever he's working for why things didn't go right during Absolute Carnage. He wanted to pull the codices out because he wanted to use them. They wanted to use. Well, he had a plan for how to use them for whoever he's making for or working for. The people he was working for have no idea how he was going to use it. He's like, well, how is this supposed to benefit us? And the weird thing about the book, or the weird thing about the book is that it's him without the helmet on.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so you see the
So
giant
you
head.
see his giant head because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the Reed Richards, the maker.
Right.
He increased his head size so he
Right.
could become smarter.
Right.
So it's really weird because they've got like wisps of hair coming out. And everything's just like, oh god.
That's funny.
So he spends the whole issue explaining to them what went wrong and why. Cut in between with Venom talking to his son and kind of getting over the awkward thing of "you're my dad," you know, because they didn't know until the end of the
Right.
book. So he gets, and I'm really kind of boiling it down here because there's really not much to talk about until you get to the end of the book.
Yeah, because I like the way whoever he's talking to words of like, okay, well, so you failed.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool what you've discovered, but ultimately you failed, and we don't accept that.
No, because we don't fail.
Yeah.
When you get to the end of the book, you find out who he's been talking to. He's been talking to the multiverse version of the Council of Reeds from every
Wow.
universe.
All the reasons.
So all the Reeds from across the multiverse have all gotten, much like on Flash with the Council of Wells, which was the first thing that comes to
Or
mind.
Rick and Morty.
Or Rick and
That's
Morty.
100% Rick and Morty. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, so all the Reeds, and he's actually trying to get inducted into the Council of Reeds.
So is that even the maker?
Right.
Count-
No.
The main rule is he can't be stranded off his own world. He has to go back
That's-
to his world to
he's
be inducted to the council.
That was the whole thing, is that he's trying to find a way back home.
Even though the Ultimate
It's
Universe,
destroyed.
right?
Right. Wow.
Wild.
The Council of Reeds things was the thing that was like, what the fuck?
And one of them looked all metal.
Mhm.
I
Wearing
believe.
Dooms.
I believe that. Oh, I didn't think that. I thought that was whoever he's from. I thought maybe he's their that universe's version of Iron Man.
That could be possible too. I would lean more towards he's
Doom.
wearing Doom's armor.
A Doom Reed. Cool.
We've mentioned that before. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it also kind of shines Reed in a different light. Because up until this point, well, maybe not up until this point, there's been hints at it before, but you look at Reed as a hero.
Yeah.
But this Council of Reeds just really puts into play the whole idea that Reed is just really out for Reed. Reed just kind of does what
He's
Reed
just a
wants.
man of science.
Yeah.
And he's the one that
And
we
he-
know is
he-
the most grounded.
Maybe all these other universes don't have Sue and the other three.
Or they
other
lost
two.
Sue.
Yeah.
Like in the Ultimate.
Valeria and Franklin are gone. Or,
Wait, that's a good. I want to put a pin on that you said that.
okay.
That some universes don't have Valerian.
Okay.
Okay.
Till when?
We'll revisit that.
Okay.
But in Venom 2, I lost my train of thought. Oh, his plan with the symbiote was revealed, what he was going to do with it.
Okay.
What he needed.
I don't remember. I was just, the Council of Reeds kind of just
It's
overtook
the,
everything.
The thing for transdimensional teleportation, it still didn't work with like organic matter, like him.
Oh,
like
that's
humans.
right. Yeah, but
The thing
one,
that could make it
was
was symbiotes.
Yeah, because he actually got the symbiote
From his universe.
which actually hints that his universe might still be out there.
Exactly. And he's like, even though it's synthetic, because I guess in this Ultimate Universe.
Well, in the Ultimate Universe, the symbiote is synthetic. Yes.
He's like, if that could do it, something from here could work too.
Yeah.
And that's what he needed the symbiote to do, ultimately.
Okay, history lesson. Sorry. The symbiote from the Ultimate Universe was actually created by Peter Parker's father and Eddie Brock's father.
Crazy.
Wow.
They actually, because they worked together because they were trying to create something that could heal people. And they created this synthetic thing that was supposed to enwrap people and heal them.
Mhm.
It was like a wrap. Well, I don't remember the exact specifics of it, but somewhere along the lines it gained sentience. But the idea was that was what the original from the Ultimate Universe symbiote was not an alien. It was actually synthetically created by Peter Parker's father and Eddie Brock's father.
Interesting. Crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if it would have a bond with this universe's Eddie.
I don't know. I always wanted to play with that idea. Bond.
I bet Donny Cates would.
I bet he would. Well, that to me, when they did do that, when they brought that symbiote in, I was like, whoa, that just changes the game.
Yeah.
Now you have the ultimate, because Miles is here, the Maker's here, all these, there are characters from the Ultimate Universe that are here.
Yeah.
So this thing is probably going to gravitate towards those characters. So
Interesting.
So yeah, that's Venom 20. I thought it was sick.
It's a good book. It was a very good book. I was glad you told me to read it because I was like, it was on the bottom of my pile. I was like, I gotta get through all these X-Men
because the whole thing about his plan and then the council reads, I was like, okay, what does this to do with Venom? I was like, why are we getting this in Venom? This seems like an Avengers level threat, to quote, Spider-Man Far From Home. But then once it wrapped up, what his plan involves the symbiote. I was like, oh, okay, that's how we wrap back up to Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Just good.
But before that was your pick, right, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll jump to mine and back to your point about the whole thing of Valeria.
Mm-hmm.
But now I have to start this whole tangent. So I read the Annihilation Scourge books. I read Alpha, Nova, and Fantastic Four, which is the point that I want to end with.
Okay.
About the whole thing with Valeria. So next, Annihilation Scourge. Has anyone read the other Annihilations or understand those stories?
I read the first Annihilation.
Same.
So the first Annihilation was when Annihilus attacks the main universe.
Yes.
Annihilation Conquest is when the Phalanx start attacking a specific galaxy. I believe it's the Xandorian planet and the Nova Corps galaxy. So that's why it's a lot of Nova Corps died and where Richard Rider became Nova Prime. Right. After that, the direct result of that is the formation of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
And the rebuilding of the Nova Corps, which is why that's where I pick up on the DNA room, Dan Abnett and the Q-Bird. Yeah. So after that, they've never done another Annihilation thing. But in a lot of people who, like myself, fans of the Marvel Cosmic stuff, there's a trilogy of Annihilation, Conquest, and the Thanos Imperative. The Thanos Imperative is when the Cancerverse came to the main universe through a break in the fault. The break in the fault was a direct cause of the War of Kings. So that's like another crazy event at the War of Kings. Vulcan, which is like another Summer's child.
Yeah.
They broke the vault, which is the barrier between this universe and the Cancerverse.
Well, like
and that the breaking of that fault, the Cancerverse comes, and it's a universe, like a crazy, demonically possessed universe where death does not exist. So no one has died. Nothing has died. No bacteria, no living organ, and nothing. So it's literally overpacked. Mm-hmm. So when the breaking of this fault, the Cancerverse comes in, and that's the Thanos Imperative, where they're like, okay, we need the Arbiter of Death. Thanos becomes the savior of this universe because he's the only thing that he wants to not conquer death, court death. Mm-hmm. So he is the Arbiter of Death. So he fights with the Avengers and whatnot. That's Thanos' imperative. The way that ends is he goes crazy and he goes, I'm going to use this to my advantage and start conquering the fucking world with parts of the Cancerverse. Star-Lord and Nova they sacrifice themselves containing Thanos as the Cancerverse is imploding into itself, as the fault is closing. Mm-hmm. Thus, the end of that Guardians run. That's the end of Thanos' imperative. So, Richard Rider, Nova dies, Thanos dies, Star-Lord dies. This was like 8-10 years ago. Obviously, none of those fucking characters died because they have all been back.
Yes.
In a previous event, I think it's Original Sin, it explains what happened. I've never read it. To this day, I had never read it. When I finally got to Annihilation Scourge, they kept referencing it. I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm going to have to read those books so I know what the fuck happened in the closing of the Cancerverse. How Thanos, Nova, and Richard Rider came out. What happened was really cool. It was a cool fight. Nova dies. becomes one of the Cancerverse, sacrifices himself to save Peter. He didn't know Thanos would be released back to this universe. And then Quill and Thanos made a promise of like, we'll never speak of this. Go your way, I'll go my way, and we'll never meet again. Again, another promise that's broken because this is years that, of course, the Guardians and Thanos still have already fought. Hell, even the most recent Donny Cates run of Final Gauntlet, they finally kill Thanos since Infinity Wars.
Right.
So a lot of these crazy events lead to this.
Jesus.
Where the Cancerverse has been trying to get back to this universe. The only way, and it senses it, is Reed left a gateway in the negative zone. So the Cancerverse has invaded the negative zone to get to this gateway. So what's happening in the negative zone? Who are the two warlords? I know you know, Justin. Who are the two warlords who are always fighting in the negative zone? Nihilus and who else? Big hairy monster.
I can never remember his name.
Blastar.
Thank you.
Lord Blastar. Lord Blastar and the Bug King, Nihilus.
I always remember Nihilus. I never can remember him.
So in Alpha, they get to fucking huge, like, warring factions of planets have just been decimated, but then they're all crazy tentacle zombies, and they have no idea what's going on. I already know it's the Cancerverse because I've read these previous events. Nihilus and Blastar, after constant battling, thinking it's the other one, trying to conquer the negative zone, they realize what's going on. They band together to take back the negative zone. The Cancerverse is winning.
Yeah.
So in this final, gauntlet, literally, Blastar's like, I'll hold them off. You have allies in the prime. They call it the positive universe, which is the mainline Marvel universe. He goes, go get your heroes. Blastar's like, go get your heroes. I'll stay here and I'll signal back I'll open back the gateway portal so that you can come back to the negative zone with the Warriors, which like the Avengers and whatnot, and Fantastic Four, so they can help us defeat the Cancerverse. Time works differently. By then, this has already been like 2 weeks or whatever. Nihilus ends up in our universe, closing off the gateway, and he has a signal to let Blastar know when to reopen it and whatnot. He spends like maybe a couple of hours or days here with Nova, and Nova's like, he goes, and I like one of the first few scenes, he laughs at him when Nihilus is like, help me. And he laughs, he goes, I killed you already. Yeah. I don't even know why you're alive. And like Richard Rider's drunk, he goes, I'm actually mad that you're making me work on my vacation. Yeah. And it's awesome. The Nova book is fucking amazing. Because to me, I love Richard Rider. But he's never gotten enough love since the DNA run. And it says he's been brought back from the dead from the fucking Cancerverse infection and whatnot. But then after they finally fucking band together and they have this cool moment when they go to get the Fantastic Four, Valeria and Franklin, they're like, oh, are your parents home? They're like, no, and they slam the door on them. And Nihilus is like, I thought those were your allies. He goes, they are. And he kicks down the door, and Nihilus is like, was that wise? It's cool.
Being the voice of reason.
Right, it's actually really, really funny. So then they come to an agreement. They're like, okay, we'll send you back to the negative zone, but our parents are already there. And they're like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, some refugees from the negative zone came through the same gateway, but ended up on Earth, not wherever the fuck Nihilus landed. Because he was on a different spaceship. He literally went through the spaceships of refugees to get to escape the Cancerverse attack in a negative zone. So, because he's a fucking asshole.
Right.
Yeah. So the surviving refugees that he left behind of his own people landed on Earth. Well, that's the designation the destination he was trying to make it to.
That's funny.
Right, so then that's the ending of no, actually that's not the ending of Nova, but I don't want to spoil it. But mayhem ensues and they start battling in the negative zone once they get there. But it's fucking nuts and they something they do realize is the Cancerverse does die in the negative zone. So rules are different. So that's where you come to a realization in this event, they cannot fight in the main universe. Because in the main universe, the Cancerverse does not die.
Yeah.
It works like the same rules in the Cancerverse.
Wow.
But in a negative zone, since physics is different there, if you kill anything of the Cancerverse, it stays dead.
Nice.
So then they're like, okay, we need to tell the Fantastic Four. Nova leaves. And then Alice is like, oh, fuck, like, he left me. But it's because Richard Rider, he's going through PTSD. He was infected by the Cancerverse from that original sin, like the ending of Thanos Imperative. When he was left behind there, he was infected for years because time works differently. He was gone like a couple of months or something, and he was there like 100 years or whatever of fighting this infection.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's some serious PTSD. I'll get it to him.
So the whole, and it's really scary because he's cracking jokes in the Nova book, in the Annihilation Scourge Nova. He's cracking jokes, but once he realizes what he's fighting, he goes, no, and he's like freaking out. He literally stops and hides behind a rock at one point. Oh, wow. And it's really frightening for him. So when he comes to the realization that it dies in the negative zone, he goes, okay, I need to go tell them, and he leaves, leaving Annihilus, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
In the Fantastic Four book, the whole thing, you get that side of the refugees landing, and then Fantastic Four help them and whatnot. They're okay, we have to go figure out what's happening. You get who you've been seeing at the end of these last two books of Alpha and Nova. Reed already realizes through some machine that it projects memories, like ignoring like language barriers and other weird interpretations. Whatever, it shows exactly what they saw.
Yeah,
not like memory. So it's like vision, like recorded, like vision, like recording or whatever. And of course, it's Reed, some kind of fantastical device. Through the refugees been seeing the leader of the Cancerverse, and then who you've been seeing, and I already knew who it was. It's just they hadn't said it by name. It's Sentry, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And you've been seeing the Revengers, which is the Cancerverse version of the Avengers, fighting alongside him. And Rita's like, wait, that's impossible. And Sue and everyone are like, wait, what's going on? And they go into the negative zone anyways. And then they get confronted by the Cancerverse version of the Fantastic Four. And it's horrifying. Their version of Fantastic Four is they look demonic, and their Reed has wrapped around the Fantastic Four. So they're one unit.
Oh, okay.
And they keep calling themselves as like, we're a family. Join us. Be forever. And they're like, what the fuck? And Johnny's like, that's so creepy. What the hell's going on? And like Reed is literally wrapped around them. Right. And they look evil, and like they can't go far because the evil Reed like has them like tentacle wise, like caught in like a web of Reed. It's super weird. So then when they fight, they talk about Doom, like other similar memories to the main line, and they mention Franklin. Their evil Sue says, oh, my one and only child ascended so to become the host of the power of our Lord. And Reed is like, oh, I know who their Lord is. To the main Fantastic Four. And Sue's like, stop it. Tell us, what are you talking about? He goes, it's my fault. Sentry went to the Cancerverse. He tried to separate himself from the Void. I couldn't help. The only laws of physics of any universe that would allow him to separate from the Void. Justin, you kind of have to answer a bit there because I'm not familiar with the Void and Sentry. I just understand it's like an evil version of him.
Yeah.
He goes to the Cancerverse to rip out the Void and leave it in the Cancerverse.
Okay.
Obviously, something went wrong because he stayed evil, but he's still Sentry. Mm-hmm. And now he's leading the charge of the Cancerverse, fighting the negative zone.
Wow.
And it's this line, this version Sentry. Like, he's unaffected. He's not evil. He's not Cancerverse version. It is the Sentry. And he is mad at Reed. And then Reed is like, this is my fault. And Johnny and Sue are like, wait, what did they say about Franklin? And then they start projecting Sue's memories of Valeria. And then they start freaking out. They're like, what is this life? We haven't lived this life. And then Johnny leads the Fantastic Four of because in the Cancerverse, you just stop living. Because you can't die, you just stay stagnant. You stay, yes, the same, but forever. And you're forever, but you're the same. You never progress.
Right.
And so they say Reed and Sue never had Valeria. So it's that memory that makes the web of Reed weak, and Sue kills Reed. It's fucking crazy. The Thing starts crying and clobbering Johnny because he sees the Johnny's memory of this current Ben is married to Alicia.
Yeah.
He never did that in the Cancerverse. Wow. So it's crazy how like these newer, happier memories ruined the evil version of Fantastic Four. And that's the ending of this half of Annihilation Scourge. So you learn about, the combining of Annihilus and Blastar, the Cancerverse attacking being led by Sentry, and that the Cancerverse, they have to fight in the negative zone because that's where the Cancerverse dies. So the Fantastic Four learns that too. And they're like, oh, we've already sent word to the Avengers and other Fantastic Four members.
The Fantastic Family.
So to me, like, this was like another crazy cosmic event. I'm like, bro, this was a lot in just 3 issues.
That was just 3 issues?
Yeah, Alpha's really big. Alpha's like 40 pages.
Jesus.
And then Nova, Fantastic Four. The other 2 that I have not read that came out yesterday is Beta Ray Bill and Silver Surfer. And then the ending is next week, which is Omega, which I'm assuming is another longer one. Yeah. But it's been good. To me, it's been awesome. But I love Marvel Cosmic stuff.
Right.
So I want to ask you, Justin, like to explain a little bit more about the Void and Sentry.
Well, I can tell you what I know, but I know it's probably been retconned by now because I think they tried to change what the Void was. Originally, from the original Sentry comic, which was a very good comic. If you haven't read it, it's very good. It was actually done as like a gimmick where they had done this thing where, we had been digging through Stan Lee's piles of old stuff and we found this superhero that was supposed to exist that he never did. It was all a gimmick. They didn't actually find a character. They created the character modern day. Mm-hmm. But they tried to do that so that they could insert the character. And they did. They actually inserted the Sentry into Marvel history as being a character that's always existed. But what happened was he had to make the world forget who he was. So that's why we had never heard of him. Because his ties to the Void. In the original book, from the way I read it, the Void was just him. It was an alternate personality for him.
So it's kind of like Adam Warlock and Magus.
Kind of, yeah. Where it kind of played out as, he had so much power that his mind like created an alternate version of him that became his own worst enemy, which was the Void. He always fought against the Void. It was the big revelation at the end of the first book that the Void was actually him. And that's why the world had to forget, was because the Void was going to win. But if Robert, the Sentry, forgot about who he was, the Void would be forgotten too.
Robert Reynolds.
Robbie Reynolds.
Yeah, Reed even talks to him like as a friend, like first name.
Yeah, and
he even calls him Bob when you see him, and he's like, "Bro, George, he's this big. Like the design of Sentry is awesome. He has long blonde hair. So think like Thor, but
he was supposed to be Marvel's Superman.
Yeah. But like Hyperion, I don't know, Squadron Supreme.
Yeah.
So think of the suit of Hyperion, but instead of the big H, it's like an S on the belt, and he has like a long gold cape with like long blonde hair, so he looks like Thor, and he's super powerful. When he fights Nova shoots at him in the face, and he's like, "Ouch, that kind of hurt." And Nova, the human rocket, he tries to fly away. Sentry's so fast and so strong, he grabs him by the ankle. He grabs Nova by the ankle and he just wails him like the Hulk with Loki in the first Avengers movie. He just wails on him, and then it ends with Richard Rider bleeding and his helmet cracked, like decimated.
Cracked a Nova Corps helmet.
It was crazy.
Power of 1,000 exploding suns.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's extremely powerful.
Yeah, he was very. And I always really liked the character. I've read almost every series they've done for him. But like I said, I think they tried to retcon the Void and make it more like one can't exist without the other, which is very true from the original. But I read it as he was an alternate personality for the Sentry. I think they've pushed it more towards in the realm of no. When the Sentry was created, the Void was created as a polar opposite, and that they will always be fighting. But I think they tried to make it that the Void was actually separate from a separate being but tied to Robbie Reynolds. But the original storyline, at least the way I read it, he was just an alternate personality for the Sentry. But they did some really cool aspects. Like Sentry was the only character that could calm the Hulk down. Like all these people, whenever Hulk goes crazy mad, he said, "Oh, like Bruce, you gotta calm down." Nobody could get him to calm down. They just leave me alone. Sentry, with his golden power and golden light and everything like that, he could come to this Hulk, and Hulk would immediately just be like, "Oh," and
Woosah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, And it was like they actually showed scenes of like the Hulk like just basically sitting down and just being like, oh, like total zen because that's what that's what the Sentry.
That's funny.
And if
It's an interesting power set. Many people call them.
And if you're another little piece of history, Sentry. If you just read Absolute Carnage and you know that Cletus Cassidy Carnage was dead, Sentry's the one who killed him.
Oh,
Because when they rebooted Avengers after Disassembled, it was when Bendis was writing Avengers and he rebooted the book. The whole first storyline was them, the raft being attacked, the prison, the raft being attacked. And the Sentry was actually in the raft at the time because he actually voluntarily submitted himself to be locked up because he didn't want to. He's like, if I'm out, the Void is out, whatever. Yeah. And while the prison break happened, Carnage was on the raft too. And Carnage was going to attack, I think, Daredevil or somebody, and that's when Robbie stepped in, where Sentry stepped in, flew him out into the atmosphere and ripped Carnage in 2 pieces.
Nice.
And left him out there. That's why when you see Carnage now, he's like half skeletal and everything, because he actually ripped Cletus Cassidy into 2. Right. So Sentry is the one that killed him.
I remember you went over that when we were talking about the what is it, the Church or the Cult of Carnage, that other previous book.
Mm-hmm. Great book. If you haven't read that.
So that's funny. Like 2 things of one similar, like that same incident, and it's funny how now we got back Cletus Cassidy and Carnage, and now we're getting Sentry back as well.
Well, they always try to do that. Like every couple of years, they go, "Let's bring the Sentry back," and then they bring the Sentry back, and then whoever brings them back goes, "Okay, I'm moving on," and then the next person to take over wherever the Sentry goes, "I don't know what to do with them." So they kind of just push him back again. Yeah. And then he did this. Because really, if you think about it, Sentry suffers from the Superman problem. The only difference is Superman's always existed, so you can't really do away with Superman. You just with Sentry hasn't always existed, but what do you do with a character that's so powerful? So some writers just don't know what to do with him, so they just go, "He's not on my team."
I like what's going on with this.
Yeah,
he's mad at Reed for giving him the idea to go to the Cancerverse and rid yourself of the Void. Something happens that we have not seen on page yet, that where he becomes the leader of the fucking Cancerverse and is leading a frontal battle against the mainline universe.
Well, to me, it sounds like they've gone back to the whole being an aspect of Robbie's personality. And that part of the personality won. Yeah. Maybe in the Cancerverse it happened where they fought each other mentally, and Bob was just too weak because he's been holding the Void back for so long in his head that he was just too weak to overpower him, and he was overpowered with the Void. But now Void has got complete control of Sentry's body because, like I said, it was always they were same person. There was just 2 personalities. That was I believe because that was the whole thing with Robbie was the fact that he was the greatest superhero, but he suffered from multiple personality disorder.
But I like this. This to me, I think the writer, if I'm correct, it's Matthew Rosenberg. He's webbed this crazy. He's like winded this crazy web of, again, like as a combination of all these cosmic events. Yeah. That this is only happening because of Annihilation, Conquest, War of Kings, Realm of Kings, Thanos Imperative, and then the entire Guardians line and all of the Nova core books. And then it's led to this, of the Cancerverse is coming back to us through the negative zone.
It's a lot of knowledge to have to build it up to that.
That's what, mind you, I've already read maybe 75% of what I had to explain in the beginning, and I did not read the explanation of what happened after Thanos Imperative.
Oh, the original sin.
Original sin. Which is a secret that only 3 people in the entire Marvel Universe knew. And in 3 issues is unraveled. Yeah, and I had not read those 3 issues. So I literally went back in one evening so I could read those 3 so I could continue reading this with context.
Man, that's a lot of reading.
Yeah, it is. But I could say it's not required reading because a lot of it is explained to you and you do get a lot of the emotional beats, but you understand the emotional beats. I understand Richard Rider's PTSD with the Cancerverse, why he's hiding behind a rock, why he's saying, oh shit, or like why he's talking about like, oh, my living nightmare has come back to haunt me.
And you technically saw him go through it.
Somewhat, because I still didn't read the entire previous Nova series. which is just about Sam Alexander.
Oh,
Yeah, it's about him being haunted by Richard Rider, and he doesn't understand why. It's a weird, convoluted thing of how Richard Rider comes back. Yeah, comics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So who wants to go? Do you want to do Marauders or do you want to do MMPR?
Whichever.
Do MMPR.
Yeah. Do Power Rangers.
The crossover with the Turtles.
Yeah, because I remember I read a little thing on this today where Tommy was a complete dick.
Yeah.
You know how I am with Tommy.
I know that was the thing that
He's either crying or way too mean.
I hate that motherfucker.
Stirred right because I remember a while back I said Tommy was the greatest and you really took offense to that.
Hey, Jeff agrees with me.
It's
Jason's the greatest.
It sucks because I'm with Justin. I'm a big Green Ranger fan. I like Tommy. But reading this crossover, and then after reading, George and I and Joe, we were on the Shadow Grid event, and it's like, bro, it's funny how he's always at the forefront, especially as Lord Drakon. And then now this crossover with the Turtles, it's like, why is he the foil again, man? I'm really tired of Tommy. Mind you, I'm a fan of him.
Tired.
So go, Joe.
There's more substance in the comic for him than the show, if you would agree.
Yeah. Okay.
There's more backstory. There's more.
Yeah.
Because in the show, he was just, I'm here, whatever. Anyway. So Tommy, should we start with? No, it doesn't start with Tommy though.
No, we don't get the reveal of him until later.
It starts with the Turtles fighting the Foot Clan. Or no, the Rangers fighting that monster. It intertwines. The Rangers are fighting their monster. These guys are in New York fighting the Foot Clan.
So each one's fighting their bad.
Right. And then it goes to Karai, calls the Foot Clan back. Right? Yeah, because the Turtles beat them, as always. Yeah, no, Ninja Vanish. They use the Ninja Vanish thing. Which
but one takes off his mask.
Right, but that was back at the hideout. That was not up there. So the Turtles beat him, and then Karai's calls him back. And the Foot Soldier takes off his mask, and it's Tommy undercover as a Foot Soldier. And I'm like, why? But whatever.
He's the best martial artist.
He's not, but whatever.
Because he's the greatest.
No, he's not. No. He's straight garbage.
I wouldn't go that far.
Nah, I wouldn't go that far.
No, I wouldn't either. I just, he has so much love. It's like, okay, anyway. So, but I forgot how the Rangers got to New York. That's what I forgot. I only read it once.
He finally morphed.
Okay, that's right. So the Turtles go and find them again. Yeah. They find the Foot Clan again. They want round 2. He morphs into his Green Ranger form. They fight him, whatever.
Dude, the art is beautiful.
And then Alpha beams in the Rangers because he locked onto Tommy's morphing signature. So the Rangers beam because of course Tommy needs help again. Fucking asshole. Go save the idiot.
I don't know why he even morphed. Just be like, hey, wrong person, don't hit me. Put my hands down.
The Rangers get morphed in. Not morphed in. They get teleported in, and they're fighting the Foot Clan. No, they start fighting the Turtles, and then they're like, they start fighting. I love Donatello. Remember Donatello's remark? He's like, how's your boy playing the flute when he's wearing a helmet? I was like, I'm done.
It's funny. Dude, the comments, George, the comments are fucking awesome.
Hilarious.
I love the Turtles.
Jason with one sword is systematically taking Leonardo down with 2 fucking swords. And Leo's like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
More isn't always better.
Whatever, bro. Jason took down the turtle leader.
I like how they're like talking to Billy and they're like, are you humans under there? Or are you aliens?
Right, are you aliens?
And they're fighting. Like they're in the middle of fighting. They're commenting on each other. Right, because
both teams do that. If you think about it, so Turtles do it, the Rangers do it. But I love Raphael. Comes in and systematically takes Tommy down. Raphael's like, please, bro.
Tommy he beat him the first time, in the first round.
Right, but Raph beat the shit out of Tommy in the second round. Just bye, bro. And you're that suit's supposed to enhance you.
Yeah.
Raph has nothing. He has 2 forks, and he takes that stupid
forks. He's an enhanced turtle. I mean, turtles got strength.
What strength? They don't have strength.
I don't know.
They just have ninja skills.
Dude, and I really like the turtles' design where they actually look distinctive.
The color for each one is different, kind of like.
But they're even the bandana size. Like Raph looks like kind of like Batman, where like the the bandana goes down like a V.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then I think Leonardo's is like it's way slimmer, and then Mikey's is like way bigger. It almost looks like
bandana.
Yeah, it almost looks like a beanie, but with a hole at the top.
Correct.
And then Mikey looks like fatter. He looks like a little tubbier.
Yes.
Raph looks like big, like he's ultimately like the hulkier looking turtle.
Like a wrestler. He's like.
So they actually took time with the character design.
Yeah, and Donnie looks the slimmest.
Right, like he always does. I like them drawn here better than how DC drew them with the Batman crossover.
Yeah,
I didn't like
yeah,
that.
the Freddie Williams III design was strange.
I didn't like those turtles. But yeah,
And this is the same creative team from Shattered Grid.
correct. Same right.
It's Ryan Perrott, writer, and Simone DeMille.
I don't know how they're
DeMille?
going to do this because the writer said that he was going to make the tie into, remember when Space interacted with the Turtles? But how when these Rangers came before Space?
I don't know.
Mighty Morphin's way before Space. Like 5 or 6 seasons
But
before,
that doesn't
right?
mean that the Space Rangers couldn't have been around doing stuff at the same time.
No, because they were the Turbo Rangers.
No,
Which
but
came from the Zeo
But
Rangers.
maybe there were Space Rangers who weren't the people we know, just different Space
No,
Rangers.
he said he was going to tie it into the TV show.
To the TV show Space
Yeah.
Rangers?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Exactly.
We'll see.
Whatever.
One of my favorite remarks, Joe, was I could have sworn it was Zach, and he's like,
yeah.
he goes, "Wait, they're actual turtles?"
Yeah.
and then Trini's like, Finster's designs are getting really lazy.
Right. So the Rangers thought these were Zed monsters, and
Yeah.
the Turtles thought that they were aliens in pajamas.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's so good.
I mean, it makes sense because you have the big bad for the Turtles.
Shredder.
No, not Shredder. The alien.
Krang.
Yeah.
Okay, that's another problem I had with this crossover. How on top of Tommy being the foil again, is the other villain is Shredder again. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
Those are the lifelong villains.
Well, I mean, for Turtles, who else are you gonna put?
I don't know. Krang would have been cool.
Krang.
Goddamn.
I know.
But Krang really is this. He sends Shredder in the Foot Clan. He's not gonna.
Yeah, he's above Shredder. He
Right.
adheres to this.
I don't know. I like the way this played out because I know, Joe, you said that you didn't like it. I loved it.
No, at the end, it doesn't amount to anything. We don't know where it's going. It doesn't give you a preview to like they find it.
No. You get the Shredder somehow knows and wants the power of the Green Ranger.
Right.
But something is about the like.
Okay, yeah, he wants.
You get like a tidbit that like he has to give it up or something.
Right.
Something like that.
Because Tommy's emo again, be like, oh, I don't know where I belong. I don't know if I belong. And he's doing the same shit in Mighty Morphin with, oh, I'm white, but I don't. Jason left me. I don't deserve this. Like, bro, grow a set and play your fucking flute.
All I'm hearing here is that at some point we're going to see Shredder with a Green Ranger costume.
That's gonna be cool.
That's
I'm not gonna lie.
Costume.
Listen,
Yeah.
if
We
Shredder,
have
Imagine like a Dragon Zord fucking Shredder. That'd be fucking cool.
listen, I love these two properties, but if Shredder morphs, I'm out. I'm not.
I'm sorry. I would be out if Shredder does not morph.
No.
What the fuck?
There's a Power Ranger fan, kind of official, short movie YouTube thing where they have the older Power Rangers, including the guy who actually played Tommy, Jason David Frank.
Oh, that movie that he made, the white something.
I don't know, but I know they had Street Fighter characters, Chun-Li and Ryu, actually get morphers and morph themselves.
That's funny.
And fight against whatever Bison. I think it was Bison. And
But just think of it, bro. Like it'd be such a waste if you don't cross over with that franchise and have no morphing.
Remember,
Yeah, you have to morph.
it's
right.
like, listen, it's like a kyber crystal. It chooses you. If the morpher will not morph you if you're not chosen.
No,
if you're
man.
not,
I want to see Mikey.
I don't know
morph.
for that far.
I want to see Mikey.
you know
morph.
these
But imagine
films-
how that pajama's gonna look on him.
You know these
Is the
films-
shell over the uniform?
Yes,
Or is the
the
uniform
shell has to
under
be over.
Yeah,
over the shell?
No, the shell has to be over it.
Oh, if a turtle morphs, I'm definitely.
Oh my god, yes, have a turtle morph.
I already saw them with fucking
That-
Ghostbuster Blackpacks. I cannot see them in fucking.
That actually, I believe, is going to happen too. You're going to have at least one turtle become a Power Ranger. Yeah. You're going to have somebody get injured.
Do they really get that on top of the helmet?
George, did you hear him?
on top of the helmet?
That's right.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't.
Actually, I believe the Ryu Ranger had the bandana over the helmet or something to that.
You're going to
nature.
have, but what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make it like Jason's going to get hurt
Yeah.
and Raphael's going to take over because of the red.
Because he's red.
It's
Oh,
already-
God.
Because it can't be Billy and it can't be Billy and Leonardo.
Yeah, no, we can't have that.
No,
That's
no.
funny.
Or Trini and Mikey.
Mikey,
Yeah, technically.
Where I like the fact
No,
because Leo
no.
stepped up like I got this, and
Yeah.
Jason just get out of here, bro. Sent him packing,
To
and
me, it was
Tommy was
awesome,
being
man.
more.
And I know, George, I think you're like me that we still have not caught up with Joe on the Power Rangers books.
It's amazing.
Dude, just jump on with this. This is already so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably
Yeah.
be the
And it's
What
literally
is
just-
that?
It's literally one issue, and it's so. Oh my
god.
I'm
He looks
showing
like
everybody the
Captain Falcon.
Ryu Ranger.
Bro, does he not look like Captain Falcon?
Yeah,
What is that?
There you go. Yeah.
He's Ranger Falcon.
Ranger Falcon. Oh my god.
Oh god.
But then, okay, so Simone de Mel, her designs have been awesome.
Yes.
These designs have been sick. With
Yeah,
the Power Rangers
I like
looking
them.
sick, and then the turtles being sick. So I can't imagine if one of the turtles morph. I'm already ecstatic with
Losing
how the
their
design is
Yeah.
going to look like.
What are the turtles gonna do when the Rangers call for the Zords? Are they gonna call out the party van?
Bro, I want to see a
I don't
turtle.
know, man.
I want to see a turtle Zord.
No, the turtles get their
They
own
had-
Zords.
They had a turtle Zord, remember? It was in the second season. Yeah, it was a turtle Zord.
That's funny.
God,
It was like a big. Let me look for it. But continue. But that was Power Rangers and Turtles.
Mighty Morphin
Number
Power
one.
Rangers / Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Number one.
That's a fucking mouthful.
the joke.
Another reason why Jason's the best. Go ahead.
Mighty Morphin Ninja Turtles.
But
Episode title.
episode 7.
100%.
I wish Jeff was here. He would back me on that.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
Next, what else we read?
next.
So, Marauders 3.
Okay.
Did everyone read it? No.
No,
Maybe?
I missed it because I read X-Force, but go ahead.
I didn't read it.
X-Force
I
over
know,
Marauders?
I know, I'm sorry.
You're breaking my heart.
Sorry. No, I'm not.
I think I read X-Force over Marauders too.
I was trying to read both.
Because here's the thing. I have a take on Marauders you guys aren't gonna like. So
Oh, okay.
But Marauders is not that big of a spoiler, Justin, because it happens before the assassination of Xavier.
okay.
Yeah.
So you get the whole thing of Sebastian Straw's Black Bishop? No, his plant for the Red King.
Yeah, his plan for the Red King, what he wanted to do.
Which is what they talk about in either in X-Men, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then Emma
Titanus?
Frost. But Emma
Titanus.
Frost.
Titanus. Yeah.
Titanus. Yeah.
The Turtle Zord.
That's
Turtles
funny.
Titanis.
Okay, I forgot the name. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, Sebastian Shaw's plan. Well, you go, George. That way you review it.
Well, I mean, what I love about it is that they give you the 3 sections for the company.
The Hellfire
The
Bay.
Hellfire Bay, where it's Emma Frost's like diamond and crystal looking castle. And then you have Shaw's
Dark.
ebony, dark looking castle. And then you have like this cliffside area that looks like it's growing red fungus.
Called the Red Keep.
Yeah, called the Red Keep.
Game of Thrones.
Game of
fans.
Thrones.
Yeah. And I was just like, huh. And when you see the full picture of the bay, it looks absolutely gorgeous. Man, I love the artwork for Krakoa and everything that they're doing on this. But you get to see that Shaw, since they're reviving mutants and everything, Shaw is really happy to see that his son actually gets revived.
Oh, okay.
So we have Shinobi Shaw in the mix.
No. He pushed
He pushed
through
for
his
it.
influence. He pushed for his son to go up in the queue of resurrections.
Yeah, which, I mean, that's a Sebastian Shaw archetype right there. That man's always trying to get what he wants.
But I like what he said. He goes, nothing about the end of how he died. So for him not to remember his death.
Yeah. Which, that's what I actually wanted to ask you guys. What was his death?
I don't know the real death either.
He's been gone for.
I just know it has something to do with his own facing abilities because his fucking hand is through his face. When they show the skeleton of like the original Shinobi,
Yeah.
his hand skeleton is through his skull. So it implies that he killed himself that way. Or
Something
something.
took over him.
He has the ability to
Maybe
control
it's
the density of his whole body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, essentially,
That's funny how he should have been the Red King and Shadowcat has the same ability, similar ability.
a phasing ability. Yeah.
This is why. I'm sorry, I didn't.
Go ahead, Justin. I actually want to know why.
Okay, so Shaw is confirmed as being one of a handful of mutants who retain their powers following the 2005 Decimation storyline. Sometime after that, Shaw is killed by his father.
Nice.
Which makes sense.
That's what. Yeah. Don't remember because I killed you. Yeah. Makes sense.
The whole book is them talking about killing each other. They're like, hey, we don't got to do that anymore. And
Right.
Shaw's just like, Sebastian's just like, nah, let's not go ahead and, fight each other.
Yeah,
And
and
he's like, I want to kill you.
And he literally gives him reasons to like, we should just be allies. Look at this, look at that. Look at this new nation that we have. Look what I'm in power of. I want to entrust this with you. We should be allies. I want you to have this. I want you to have that. And it's like, yeah. I still want to kill you.
Yeah, that's Shinobi the whole time. And I kind of love it because I hate Sebastian.
I do too.
So, I mean, they make him the character you want to hate, and they do a great job of it. But yeah, they give...
I want to add to that. I'm liking Sebastian more. He's becoming more of like a a mutant necessary evil.
Yeah. So I like him more than
Yeah.
in the past. I still hate him.
That's why Emma brought
Right,
him in.
but I like to hate him.
Yeah,
She-
I like
yeah.
him. Yeah, because we needed
We
the
needed
dark
that.
the dark side of not the dark side, the black market of
Right.
of mutant stuff. And you know, as they're going through and he's showing them all the teleporting and all everything else, it brings him to his black keep. And he's like, "Yeah, your clothes might be a little weird. Don't worry about the color." And you have Shinobi Shaw in pure red.
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, you wanted your son to be on the council? That's a little egotistical."
Yeah.
So we see why he was so upset with Catherine becoming the Red Queen.
Kate.
Catherine, not Kate.
Whatever.
Okay.
She
Right there.
says Kate.
She says, "Kate."
She said, well, she says not Kitty.
Yeah.
Emma calls her Catherine because she respects her, I guess. I don't know.
But she
Maybe.
grew. She grew.
She needs her.
I definitely needs her. So you have all this stuff, them going through, them taking teleports to Japan, him and Shinobi needing to go there because he has obligations and things he has to do.
Yeah. And I like when time passes and he returns to the Black Castle or whatever, it's already after Kitty being dubbed Red Queen, and he's like, "Oh, plans have changed. For now, dress in black."
Yeah. And I believe it's in this book, they give you the tier list, the breakdown of how the Hellfire Club works with the queens, the kings,
Right.
and the bishops, which is kind of funny because Kate is working with Bishop on a mission, but is trying to recruit him
As
to be
her,
Red Bishop,
yeah,
to be her second in command. I think they
Oh.
fall under.
yeah.
So
And she's literally like, "Hey, it's your name. Come on, it's a role you were perfect
Yeah.
for."
But I like the
Kate.
explanation because he's like, "Oh, why would I do that?" And she's like, "I kind of need you." He's like, "But I don't trust the Hellfire Club. Why would you side with them?" She goes, "That's exactly why I'm siding with them, to keep them in check. I need your help."
Yeah, and that's all done through a text message thing. So they show you the text logs like it's a meme.
amazing.
And at the end of it, he's just really upset. He's like, "These aren't even secure phones. Now we have to get rid of them." And then you also have, one of those footnotes of a classified security document from the X desk where they're like trying to monitor the mutants and everything they do, and them talking about how they're just fragrantly talking about this.
Oh, and then
Phones are
there's still
secure.
activity on Island M.
Yeah, there's still activity on Island M. Actually, they say that Kitty ends up there at one point,
Yeah.
and the ship speeds off while they're being followed, and they weren't sure if they were trying to show off with their new toy or if there
Or
was a
being followed.
purpose, or they knew they were being followed.
Right.
So there's a lot of backstory and everything to it. This issue was, in all honesty, out of the 3 so far, kind of weak.
I still love them.
It's just all
Still
information.
sounds interesting.
But I'm fine with it.
Yeah, information.
Because again, what I've been telling you guys since this whole Dawn of X, all these new X books, I just want more of this new lore, all this
Right.
new Krakoa stuff. I want more of this new mutant government. And then Sebastian's plans for the future, and I love his explanation. We have a new nation, new enemies. What is that going to mean? We span more than an island, more than this planet. We're going to need defenses. Who wants to be in charge of that? No one. I need to take part in that. I need help. I need you, Shinobi, to be my bishop, lead a fleet so we could be the naval defenses of this great nation.
Yeah.
And again, I'm sorry, but I'm really siding with him.
Yeah.
He's becoming necessary evil. But you need it. You need an army and defenses for a nation that's just been dubbed. And all these other books, what are we getting every book? New enemies every fucking book. And no one has been able to fight them since.
No.
You get me? If there was defenses like what Sebastian Shaw is fucking proposing, they'd be better off.
Yeah, I feel like the mutants in general are just a little cozy on their island, feeling that they're perfectly safe.
Right, they're like in their honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
But that's what Wolverine says in X-Force.
Yes.
Yeah, which is why X-Force.
Bro, I'm loving Marauders and X-Force.
X-Force is dope.
Those are the 2 books I'm loving the most.
But we got new villains in both, in X3 and in X-Force. So it's like, ooh.
But yeah, Justin, what's your take that you said we're not gonna like? I want to hear this.
On one, X-Force?
No,
Marauders. Right.
Keep in mind, I did not read number 3. Okay, I just got to the end of number 2 where they got all the tattoos.
Man, hold fast on their knuckles. I love it.
Okay, so when I got to that page and I read that, my first thought was, this is completely against this character.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I understand what's happening here. They don't know what to do with her. They really don't know what
But
to
I
do.
feel like they had a plan with her because since the beginning she couldn't go through the portal.
I think it's not that they don't know what to do with her. I think Jerry Duncan has a plan for her, and it needs for her to grow. Like not grow, like act out of character.
No. I'm not talking about within the story. I'm talking about in general. For the character of Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde was introduced as a sidekick. Actually, no. Kitty Pryde was introduced as the eyes we see the X-Men through.
Right,
so that we can understand how these mutants operate in a society like us. Eventually, she evolved and she became Wolverine's sidekick. Right. Okay? She went everywhere with Wolverine. It was Wolverine and Kitty Pryde. To the point where Days of Future Past, it was him and her. Okay, then they introduced Jubilee. She became very popular. They didn't know what to, and then they moved her to the side. They introduced Jubilee. Jubilee became the new Wolverine sidekick. And they're like, "Oh, we're going to do stuff with her." Over the past couple of years, if you've looked at this character, they really have not figured out what to do with her.
She's been a love interest for only Star-Lord and Colossus.
But think about it that way. Yeah, she was the character, and then they decide to make her a teacher of the school,
the head of the school.
Okay, and then before that they married her off to Colossus, which sometimes that's true, sometimes that's not true. We don't know where that's true. Then they really didn't know what to do with her, and they said, "Fucking throw her in space, make her one of the Guardians of the Galaxy."
I remember that.
Yeah, so it's just like this is just another step in the. We created this character for a specific purpose. That purpose has expired. Now, what do we do? Mm-hmm. And it's like she's so popular that they want to keep putting her into stories because people like her, but then they're like, well, what are we going to do with her? So they created the story, which I will admit, I do like when I'm reading for Marauders. I'm still reading the book. I just got to the end of that second issue going, wow, I don't see Kitty acting like this at all.
But I feel like they do that
and
for
it's
a lot
like,
of people.
But to me, it's like I'm reading this and it's like I don't really like where it's going. I don't like what they're doing to her. As a fan, I was never a real big fan of Kitty Pryde. It wasn't like she was one of my favorites.
Well,
but look at it this way too. They never knew what to do with her because how many fucking code names has she had? How many times has she had Lockheed, then dropped Lockheed, then gone back to Lockheed, and now she's got him again? It's just a character that's just constant flux. Like you always know where characters are going to land. She's just one that's always like.
Up in the air.
Yeah, it's like if you're going to put a blackboard of all the X-Men, you can really strategically move characters around and go, this is going to end up here, this is going to end up here. She always seems like she's one that's off on the side. That's like, well, we can insert her here, and here, maybe.
Same thing happened to Rogue for a while.
Yeah. Until Rogue and Gambit finally became an item, like physically, like, okay, we're always going to keep these two together. They really didn't know what to do with her either.
She was the leader of the X-Men for a little bit. Then she was an Avenger.
Storm kind of falls into that thing too.
Except for Jean. Jean's the only one that's like Omega level.
Yeah, but see, the thing with Jean is she's another one that
true.
People really don't know what to do with. Like people always know what to do with Cyclops. People always know what to do with Wolverine. People always know what to do with Xavier. People always know what to do with Magneto. Okay, whether they change the storyline for the character, they at least keep the same. I mean, even when Magneto became Joseph for a while, and then they retconned that out and said it wasn't, he was a clone, because, whatever, and then you found out, Magneto's had so many aliases, he was Eric the Red at one point, just all this other crap. So, but you could always say that these characters fall in a certain arena.
Yeah.
But there are other characters that they just can't figure out what to do with them. So they're constantly changing. Yeah, they're constantly changing. To the point to where you get so used to them being one way, and then you go, I like this version. And then somebody comes along and says, look, we know you like that. Fuck you. Yeah. And then we're going to do this with here. And that seems to be what's happening with Kitty in this book. I dig it. I see what they're doing. They're trying to make the character grow. I read that second book and I'm like, she's growing in a weird direction that I've never thought she would before.
I can agree with that. Her character in the past was very different than what it is now. Call it growing pains, or just the new.
But how can you really call it growing pains? She's been around for 40 years.
Yeah, but it's the new X-Men universe continuity.
No. They're still building on the old.
They're still building on the old stuff.
Everything happened.
They're taking her in a different direction. I agree. And
remember, the Geonosian wipeout is still happened because that's where they're resurrecting all the mutants from that wipeout.
Days of Future Past still happened. So everything. House of M happened.
I'm just saying, when I read the book, that was I got to the end of that second book and I was like, oh, this is just let's plug her in here. We don't know what to do with her.
Yeah, give her a pirate ship.
This book, I hadn't read 3, and your explanation of 3 kind of was like, okay, well, at least the book has a direction.
Yeah, the
Which,
book.
I read that second book going, what are we trying to say with this book? Like, I was really, because at first, the first book was really cool because it was like, oh, we're going to go get mutants, we're going to rescue them. And then the second book didn't really seem to have anything to do with that.
No, that was lost of direction. Just showing her deciding to become the Red Queen.
Which was like, do I really need... I mean, really, we got this done. Do we need more of her, like, oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't?
I honestly thought we had gotten to that conclusion at the end of book 1.
Exactly. That's
so
what I
was
said.
like, okay.
But I like the
Well,
stuff.
same thing with 3. 3 just literally gives us more context to the behind-the-scenes stuff of the Hellfire Club of what's happened in 1 and 2.
Yeah. But, I did dig the stuff with, White Queen and Shaw, where she's like, she's like, well, tell whatever harlot you were sleeping with that she ain't gonna be the Red Queen or whatever. Stuff like that. I dig that.
Now, after 3, I understand his anger in 1 and 2.
Yeah. See, I didn't know about the Shelby stuff, so now that makes sense.
Right.
But you never expect someone like Sebastian to care for his son or anyone.
Dude, do you really think he cares? Or do you think it's just
he doesn't care.
I don't know, man. It's a different Sebastian.
It's a means to an end.
It's a different Sebastian.
For a man who killed his own son at one time, I gotta believe he'd still be willing to do it again.
There were reasons.
It's like Krakoa changes everything. Look at Apocalypse.
Yeah, Apocalypse.
This nation changes everything.
Yes.
Apocalypse is not.
Apocalypse is a damn hippie now.
No,
he's playing.
Apocalypse is playing.
He's playing coy.
Apocalypse is playing the long game on this.
This is what he's always wanted.
No,
but it's not the way he wanted it.
Right.
He's playing the long game.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna act like I need to act right now, but eventually I'm running this bitch.
Bar Sinister, which I'm loving.
But here's the thing about Sinister, though. Sinister, they have completely 180'd it.
Yes.
Okay? He was a completely different character from before this, and this to me is like, I need Sinister in the story, but he acts too much like other villains. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to change him and make him something, I'm going to create something new with him, and you could get away with it because Sinister is weird, but he creates so many clones, you can actually argue that all those other versions of Sinister you met were never the real one. This is the real one. You could get away with that with
a different haircut, so I'd say maybe.
Well, yeah, but you could get away with if you ever had to explain away why all those Sinisters acted differently than the one we currently have now, that's a way you could get away with it. Okay? So it's easy for you to do that. But he is completely different than how he's...
I'm kind of liking the whole I live for, knowing new things and being intrigued and all this stuff. That's this weird, super intellectual version of him.
But you got to remember, he was this guy seems to be he keeps things close to the vest, but
we know what he does from the powers of 10.
But we know a lot more about him than we used to. This is a guy that used to just show up and people would be like, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he accidentally on purpose revealed the existence 10 years before they actually did anything with it of the third Summers brother. Okay? He's talking to Cyclops, and he's like, well, you and your brothers. He's like, brothers, I only have one. He's like, oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. So they actually hinted at the third Summers brother long before they ever introduced Vulcan, because the idea for a long time was that they were going to make Gambit the third Summers brother.
Oh, God, no. I'm glad they didn't do that. I kind of actually like Vulcan, to be honest.
I just like how strange he is.
Yeah, I love how strange he is.
That's what I like. But then thinking about it now, about the whole thing with Gambit, it makes sense. It means all the brothers have some kind of energy manipulative power.
Yeah. Which is what, eventually they just went with more energy manipulation.
Well, he could manipulate it all.
Yeah.
Whereas this one could manipulate a certain type, but the other one was
Yeah.
But I always love the idea that Cyclops and Havoc, their powers cancel each other out. I thought that was
that was hilarious. But I wanted to mention this because I know that you said about Kitty that they're going in a very different direction for her. Mm-hmm. I don't know when here's reading New Mutants. I am. And a lot of those characters are going in weird directions. And I'm kind of just along with the ride for that one right now. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just a ride. But I will say that issue number 2, the first half of it was like an episode of Better Call Saul.
That's weird.
Super weird.
Of New Mutants?
Of New Mutants.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it was all, a lawyer, because they got caught and went to prison. So there's some lawyer stuff.
Well,
besides that,
for the X-Men books, I think I want to end with X-Men. So let's start with X-Force.
It might be a farce.
Because in the second book, I'm trying to remember now what happened in the second book. Because these are for the listener, these are the 2 big books for the week. The 2 X-Men books we're going to talk about: X-Force number 2, X-Men number 3. Okay, so X-Force number 2, but that's X-Men.
You said, X-Force.
X-Force number 2. Because I'm trying to remember exactly what happened in X-Force now.
They're investigating the bodies of the invaders.
Oh yeah, because it starts out with Magneto coming down and he puts the mask back together with his magnetic powers. He's like,
and then he changes into a sword.
Yeah, well, he manipulates the
metal.
Well, because he's upset. He's angry that his friend's dead.
Magneto's weird.
No.
Well, yeah, he's Magneto.
It's been bugging me that they're like treating him like he's dead, and they're like, we better get him back. And they're like, I thought there was already a process in place.
There is a process, but he's a central part of the process.
Right.
You need another telepath and another Cerebro.
Right, and that's why Jean is like...
Well, they destroyed both, because they killed Xavier and they destroyed Cerebro.
True.
So they had to go to the Cradle to reactivate, because that's what Beast's point was he has to figure out how to turn it back on. And then Jean's the one that's like, well, I'm pretty sure I can do this.
Yeah.
And then Wolverine goes off, and he goes after the people that attacked.
Right.
Yeah, he goes backwards in like surveillance footage of like where they came from, and then where they were from before there, whatever. And then fucking Omega Kid is there already. Fucking Quentin.
I'm a little bit upset that they always do this to like the big brawly like Wolverine types that they just can't work technology at all.
Yeah,
and I'm just like. Why do you make him type with 2 fingers?
Dude, that panel of him typing with 2 fingers
hilarious.
was really funny.
I was like, come on, man. The man should learn how to type with at least 4.
Called him a boomer. I was like,
he's over 120 years old.
That's true.
Exactly. He's lived long enough to learn technology.
Dude, your grandfather doesn't even learn technology. Who's the guy going to...
Hey, I taught my grandma how to illegally download music. She's good at it.
That's crazy.
Okay, then her mom doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And we're talking about, for Wolverine, it would be your mom's mom.
Yeah.
Okay? So, some people get stuck in their ways, okay?
But it was really grotesque when they're like dissecting the fucking bodies of the invaders, of these soldiers. Mm-hmm. It's like gruesome, and they're like, oh, what's this?
Exciting things,
right? And they're like, certain things are literally made of like material,
like blades in their wrists.
Yeah,
their teeth were plastic, explosive.
Yeah, their ears were grown. They were like
garrote wire.
Yeah, but the thing was, they found out that all of them had a piece of Domino skin on their skin grafted on, so they could get through the ports. They could get to Krakoa.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where
the ultimate infiltration
ends.
Yeah. Because that's where the book. I mean, spoiler. That's where the book ends. Is they go to the plant. Wolverine and Kid Omega go to the plant where they created these people. Where there's all these other people who are in various
just
forms.
Creating assassins.
Yeah, and their powers don't work for some reason. Oh no, wait.
No, Kid Omega's powers don't work because there's psionic dampener.
That's what it was.
And he freaks out. Because all he does is use his powers.
Yeah, that's all he does, And he's even talking through the whole thing. He's like, we're superior. These guys need to get in line, stuff like that.
That's always been his thing.
Yeah.
That's always been since school. Right. He's always been like, fuck humans.
But that's
we should be. He's like Magneto times 2.
Magneto and a little bit of Apocalypse, maybe?
Yeah, he's think of it. He's like the Gen Zer of a little mutant jit, following Magneto. For him, Magneto is like his Che Guevara or some shit.
That's where that line came from Wolverine. We've been too complacent. We need to get better. We need to get more defensive in our paradise. And Wolverine.
Yeah, we let our guard down.
So Wolverine and Shaw are saying the same things?
Because remember, Wolverine sees it probably pretty much as Shaw does.
Well, Wolverine and Shaw have actually been alive around the same time. Because Shaw's old too.
Yeah.
Well, his powers allow... He absorbs energy, so his powers allow him to stay young.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing in the movie. Was in First Class was the character.
Like Wolverine's about the island, but he's like, look, man, we can't be.
And this is just the next step on Wolverine's long ass journey.
Yeah, but then
that's what we're doing now. All right,
that final shot of X-Force number 2 of like you see Domino and like her skin, like the skin grafted off her is fucking
she's
horrifying. It's hard, but like flayed, like she looks flayed.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, they went to
they're creating more assassins for war reasons that we don't know why
to get into Krakoa. That's why they were taking her apart.
Yeah, but it might not just be that. So it might be for other reasons, mutant connected, but because now you're starting to see this whole black side of them doing what they're doing with creating this island nation. It's like now they actually have, before it was just unorganized enemies and stuff. Like now it seems like everybody's kind of they have a place to focus now.
Yeah,
right. Because
before the mutants were all over, scattered.
Yeah,
now they're all in one place.
Yeah.
And now it's like, everybody's just going to concentrate their efforts on that.
True. I find that interesting how not every X book currently, but most of the X books right now, their main villains, you see where they all lead to like the human evolution of technology fusion.
Right.
Because you have Fallen Angels with their techno stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You have the X-Force with this assassin building stuff.
Which is another step.
Yeah. So
it's like what would you call it? Like an artificial birth or
no,
Not
because
birth.
they're growing the individual parts of a human and splicing and putting it together.
Right.
It's more than just artificial birth.
it's like Frankenstein.
it's very Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And it's super grotesque. Like when Wolverine has to fight just the bodies without skin.
Yeah. Well, and it really works with the art. The art is cool.
Yeah.
It really works with the weird grotesqueness of some
Yeah.
of the parts.
Yeah, the X-Force I've been very happy with.
That's what I'm saying. Like I love Marauders and X-Force.
Yeah.
Those two books together, to me, I'm getting more than enough Krakoa lore.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, jumping over to X-Men, the reason why I really dug X-Men this week is because I loved the villain in this book.
I didn't.
You didn't like them?
No,
I loved the idea.
I thought it was super strange.
You like the Golden
That's
Girls?
what I loved.
Yeah, I was like
the Golden Girls. That's what I. But what I liked was they're an actual organization that's not
True.
just one and done.
That's true.
That they weren't just they weren't defeated at the end of the book and then you're never going to hear from it. This is an ongoing thing that has an agenda,
Well, remember
which seems to be bigger than the X-Men.
Not only that, like better defenses against mutants.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But that's
Yeah,
not
their
Hickman.
science is
Remember,
really up
Hickman
there.
writes for the long run. Hickman does not write.
But okay, so if you have it, so in X-Men 3, they have a place. The mutants have a place where they grow the flowers for Krakoa for the portals.
Well, they grow flowers. Those
The
that's also
Savage
where they
Lands.
grow the
Which
flowers.
the
We have not
drugs.
seen
The
the
drugs
Savage
for
Lands
humans.
in a long ass time. The Savage Lands went away
Right.
for a while.
That's right, Savage Land. Yeah, that's right.
I'll show you
Which
what
I'm like-
it was. I was like, is this in the
Savage Land.
Antarctic? But right,
No,
Savage Lands is
So
in
Savage
the
Land,
Antarctic.
yeah. So all of a sudden, a portal to this place gets taken over, and these three people they look like Reavers.
Yes,
They
that's
come-
what I thought too.
Yeah, they come through in these old timey, almost like diving bell suits, right?
Yeah.
And they're arguing with each other
And
weirdly.
there's one in a chair.
And there's one of the, much like the Reavers, there's one that's like in a chair type thing, and they start taking out mutants like really ruthlessly.
Yeah, with their gas and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just talking crap about them. Like, this is all they got?
Yeah, I figured they'd have more defenses than this. So they send, the council comes together, the Quiet Council comes together and sends Cyclops, who is it?
Shaw?
No.
No, Shaw goes.
Shaw goes.
Shaw goes. Yeah,
Yes.
because he tries to negotiate
Yes.
with them.
Yeah.
Shaw and Emma.
Emma goes.
Yeah, they tried
No,
Emma.
those are like the three
They
heavy
made fun of
hitters.
Emma.
But they go, and then you end up finding.
Ooh, Emma after the sly little bit of comments with her and Jean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Your shoes, I like
should-
your shoes.
Yeah, you should borrow this one. He goes, no, you're the type that likes to borrow.
Plus, I don't think they'd fit you.
And how they're talking about how they both had massive headaches since the portal was taken over because Krakoa is like screaming in pain.
Yeah.
Well, no, the idea is that for Krakoa to survive, because this is more of the lore.
Yeah,
For
we got
Krakoa to survive, it needs to
Soul.
consume mutant energy.
Right.
Okay,
2 mutants a year.
2 mutants a year. With all the mutants on Krakoa, they can collectively be lowered, so they can only take the bare minimum amount.
And he's fine.
So he's fine because he's in pain. He's pulling more energy out of all of them. And they even said that characters like there's 2 characters. I think Selene was one. And
Well, she hasn't been around either for a long time.
but isn't Selene the character from Captain America
Yeah.
that they were doing?
Well, they said that there's 2
Because she was a mutant. She was a power
Right.
absorption too.
She was, yeah.
Remember the one from Captain America?
Yeah,
But that's
I
how
remember.
she stays young. She
Yeah,
observes
yeah.
you.
in the first volume of the
Yeah.
Tanakashi Holtz.
Right.
Yeah. So that her and then the empath. He's
Yeah.
the other one.
Since they both absorb mutant powers.
Yeah, they monitor Krakoa to make sure that he doesn't
He eats good, right.
eats it, but he doesn't take too much, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's where all the psychic mutants are like have headaches because Krakoa is drawing more energy from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they go to take out to find out what's going on, they actually have to go to New Zealand, and then how do they get there from New
The
Zealand?
portal dude. The old man.
Gateway.
Gateway.
They had to, not New Zealand. They had to go to the Australian outback. That's right.
Yeah.
Gateway took them. So Gateway, I love how at the end of it all, the Gateway, you're absolutely zero help.
But Alex Sebastian is like,
Yeah, like,
well, how are we supposed to get to the Antarctic from here?
But then this is the second time they've used Gateway because they used Gateway in
Marauders.
in Marauders too.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Who did Cyclops send away that they couldn't get to? Cyclops is like, "Oh, it's my fault. I sent him to space."
Cypher.
Oh, Cypher, because he couldn't.
So the mutants who are in jail,
Right. He's like, I sent him off planet. He needed a vacation.
And they couldn't teleport him because he also sent magic away too.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you fucking dumb idiot. And then the old ladies
Cyclops.
make him look like an idiot by.
But I'm thinking of like other teleporters. I'm like, what about Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler's there,
He
but
has to see where he's going.
he's at a distance.
Right. Yes.
And then who's the other one? Boom Boom.
No, she creates bombs.
Yeah.
No, damn. There's another teleporter from the original New Mutants.
Blink?
Blink wasn't from New Mutants, but she is another teleporter.
But
She isn't alive.
She's a portal.
Right.
She's not alive currently.
She hasn't been resurrected yet.
Damn it, bro. There was another New
Yeah,
Mutants character with Boom Boom and Cannonball. Fuck, there was a teleporter. I can't remember. And armor.
No.
Oh my god, I remember all of them. And then the rock slide. Who's the other one that's a teleporter?
I mean,
It's a girl. I can't remember her name.
I'm not reading New Mutants. So.
This is an old New Mutants.
These current New Mutants is a teleporter. They could have used one.
Yeah, it's when that team of armor, Boom Boom, Cannonball, rock slide,
Nightcrawler, Magic, Blink, Pixie, Legion.
yes, Pixie. It is Pixie. Pixie's teleporter. Yeah. So what the fuck is she? Because there's a bunch of these New Mutant characters that we've seen.
Maybe she's dead. There's a lot of dead mutants.
Well,
out
we
there.
keep seeing armor and on covers of like New Mutants or whatever. And she's not been in the New Mutants, or is she? Is armor New Mutants? I'm looking at George because you're the one reading. Armor's not there.
Who's armor?
Armor's this chick who's literally walking around in a giant psionic energy armor.
Does she make energy swords too?
No. No.
Because there's a chick named Ileana in New Mutants.
Ileana's magic.
Dude, they're not using code names at all. It's kind of frustrating. They're using their actual names,
and
I'm having to reference the actual names to the code names.
Ileana Rasputin is Colossus' sister.
Yes.
Magic.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm thinking of
all
Pixie.
her mutations are white.
Yeah, justify it. I'm thinking of Pixie. Pixie is from the original New Mutants team.
Pixie is also, her powers are like Nightcrawler. She's connected to Purgatory, so
she has
her
to
powers.
see.
She has
to see what she's doing.
Right.
Or
So which one's Tabitha? Tabitha is Boom Boom.
I believe.
Man, you're going too deep, Kevin.
yeah.
You're something that we're not even on.
the original New Mutants.
Yeah, he just loves saying it. Boom, boom.
The original name was Boomer.
Boomer? Oh, God. Jokes.
Yeah, Tabitha's Boom Boom. That's who I keep thinking of.
Yeah, Tabitha Smith.
Boom Boom, Cannonball, Chamber, Rusty Collins.
Yes, Justin, please explain to me why you like the villains.
Okay,
these old ladies.
Okay, so they eventually take off. They eventually take off their suits, and you find out that they're old ladies in their 60s, old women.
Yeah,
and they really do resemble.
One is in their 80s, the rest are in their 70s.
Yeah,
they're the Golden Girls.
Yeah, they do really resemble the Golden Girls, which is one of the reasons why I like that. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah,
there's these old.
It was funny. Don't get me wrong. It was funny. At the end of the book, I was just like, "What the fuck."
But they actually had an agenda. Their whole thing was they wanted to wipe out all the drugs that the mutants were creating because they did an end run. The mutants, by them showing up, did an end run around what they were doing. Because their whole thing is called horticulture, I think.
Yeah. Horde culture.
Horde culture, yeah. So the whole thing was that they had actually insert through, they had seen for years how all these companies had been using genetic to create all these, it was supposed to be to help the world. And they were just doing it for the profit. So they started out by really pretty much killing all the people that ran those companies, but then they started to insert things into the plants and stuff that eventually would pay off to be where they would basically wipe out everybody on the planet and bring the planet back to status quo.
Yeah, they wanted to give the planet back to the planet pretty much.
Yeah, they want plants to be the majority of the world again.
But so you're looking at these old women and you're like, okay, these chicks are going to get their asses handed to them by Cyclops and everything like that. And they don't. Well, they really hold their own against the X-Men.
Against
Sebastian tries to negotiate because
she
that's what he does.
Too.
And she gasses him. And then, Emma tries to talk to him, and she just gets
Well,
talked down to because
Or remember,
she's
at
dressed like a
first,
woman.
Emma's like, I refuse to hit a woman. So, Cyclops, could you take care of this for me?
Yeah, and he blasts them
Yeah.
like super hard.
But they splay that shit in his face, which negates his power.
Yeah, because she's like, "Oh, my hip," and he's like, "Oh, stupid idiot."
I love this is the Boy Scout.
I love how they make fun of Emma the way she's dressed for like being
Yeah, they
slutty.
trash.
Yeah,
her.
it's so
You're
funny.
a whore.
Well, and then you have-
And the whole time they don't use curse words. They
Well,
use
no,
the A word. the
no,
E
one of them doesn't. The others don't mind. It's just that for her benefit, they do that because she keeps saying the A word, the B word.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. But no, what I liked about it was, okay, here is your first, like, real villain group to go up against the X-Men that did really take them down. The X-Men really didn't do much
Whoop
against
their
them.
ass.
Yeah. And it wasn't like at the end of the issue, they just went away. They actually, the plan is still in play, and they actually have more things that they're going to do.
Yeah, and they actually benefited because they got samples of the
Yes.
core harvest in
Yeah,
Savage
the
Land
plants.
and left.
Plus, I like the idea that you have these 4 old women who have decided that, you know what? Fuck everybody. We're going to take this into our own hands, and we're going to fucking fix the world.
How the fuck did they walk through the portal? That's why.
That
So-
through their science.
It's a funny thing.
all plant-based.
They say it since they do all plants. They're like, plants. We've been studying that for so and so how long.
It's
To
so-
hack this was super easy.
Yeah, we figured out how to hack
That's
your
right.
network a
That's
long
right.
time ago.
That's right.
And it was like, oh, okay. So you have these 4 women who have been like,
And they said we needed more to get to get through more portals,
yeah.
gateways. I mean, and to get to on Krakoa, they needed more Krakoa plants.
So you have this group that's going to be a
Crazy.
thorn in their in the side of the X-Men for at least the foreseeable future, which could be the next 2 issues, could be the next issue. I don't care. But what I like about it was the fact that it was the last thing you would ever consider to be the problem for the X-Men. Like when they first
forget last thing. I would have never thought of it.
like
Same.
exactly when they first took off their masks and you saw like everybody here, oh, the fucking Golden Girls, because they're acting just like there's Sophia, there's all of them there. So you're right. Oh, okay. So at the end of this book, they're gonna get their asses handed to them, and that's gonna be the end of it. No, fucking X-Men are down. They go through the portal. Like, we're gonna see you soon. Fuck
Deuces.
off, assholes.
They compliment them on the portal system so they can go anywhere they want.
Yeah,
It's like,
and once they confiscate a portal, that portal cannot be used, so they can't come in after them.
yeah, you got to use Gateway or someone else.
So I was like, these people are smart. They know what they're doing.
Jesus, they
And-
hack plants.
Yeah,
And that's something else too that I felt was very Hickman.
dude, I never would have thought of that.
Those 2 things were why I liked it, because they felt so Hickman to me. Old women as villains, and they hack plants.
Right.
Like those 2 big things, like Hickman. That just sounded like something Hickman would come up with.
I mean, if
100%.
you make a bunch of plant tech, I guess it makes sense that you have to have plant hackers, and they have to be people who study plants. It's a wild ride to mentally wrap yourself around,
right.
but it makes sense.
But if you've read like a lot of sci-fi, not a lot of sci-fi, but if you've read sci-fi before, this is not the first time something like this has come up. Because if you've seen the original G.I. Joe the movie, all those characters, all the whatever they were, I can't think of what they're, the Galamia, the
I don't remember.
Whatever, but yeah.
yeah, they were all plant-based and
Plant-based.
bug-based, so everything was based off of biological technology.
Mhm.
And then even the Yuuzhan Vong in Star Wars, they were all
100%.
based off of biological and plant technology. So that aspect of somebody doing something with that always intrigues me. When you have when you create something like that, that's all biological based, not silicone based.
Yeah.
The Transformers also got rusted out by spores.
Exactly. So yeah.
That's funny.
So that's why I dug it. That's why at the end of X-Men number 3, because at the end of X-Men number 2, I was kind of like, well, I'll read the next one, but I may be dropping this book.
Yeah, because it has full episodic.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. But after 3, I was like, no, I want to see where this is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just the idea of a new, because every book you've read hasn't really introduced, except for maybe X-Force, which is trying to introduce something. You haven't really gotten the gist of, well, who are they fighting? Who are they going up against? It's just been the world.
Well, the last thing we were in the ending of X-Men 1 was that the organization that was by the sun with the mother mode,
Mm-hmm.
that, what do they call Orkies? Orkies had finally somehow...
Okarist.
What?
Okarist.
Okarist. That they discovered a way to resurrect that previous, commander or something.
Mhm, yeah.
No, the soldier
Oh, yeah.
husband of the leading
Which you were getting the
scientist.
idea that he was going to be Nimrod.
Yeah.
He was gonna be the
Uh-huh.
first Nimrod.
So to me, that's still the big bad, and these are just like other
Yeah,
episodic.
but there
ones.
should be other bads, not just those. There should
No,
be
I
other
agree.
things.
I agree.
And like I said, it was just like you said. Never saw this coming.
Yeah.
Never in a million years would I thought
Same.
that. That's why I loved it. Something new, something different. Haven't seen this before.
Well,
That's why I liked it.
I guess Excalibur did do a big bad from the first issue. Just none of us are on it.
No.
All of us are like,
Especially Lafrey. Like, come on, man.
I like
Joe, you still
Magic,
reading
but
it?
that book was tough.
Yeah.
How has it been?
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's not great. But
Nothing to report.
no.
I feel the same way about the
I
Mutants.
was excited. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Go
for it.
I was excited for that book because I love the idea
Right.
of her becoming the new Captain Britain.
Same.
Something new, something different.
Mhm.
It's just Apocalypse, and he's biding his time.
Exactly. That's why you're not
Biding.
seeing
You
it.
could tell. You read it, and he's just like,
Because if you read that first Excalibur, you could see he's not acting like he's happy with the way things are.
especially now with Xavier gone, he might be like,
Well, yeah, this is the first step, you know?
Oh, which is why
Which I think he's behind it. I'm pretty sure he's behind Xavier being gone,
that's interesting.
and I don't think Xavier's dead either.
Well,
Well, I mean, he's dead, but they're going to
No.
bring him back.
they introduced the whole thing. Remember how I was saying that they switched his bodies
Right.
because they closed in on the drink, and then you got in the next issue. Oh no, the drink wasn't that. It was the fact that they drugged him so he couldn't use his abilities, so he wouldn't sense them coming.
Right.
So I was like,
Well, they did say that he had a tracker in his stomach.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And
Yeah.
that's all.
And they said it should have been within 2 hours. And so I had the crab cakes or the champagne.
That's an awesome cover.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. I mean, we're going to talk about this whenever we reconvene. But X-Force 3 has a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
I'm
reading it.
Marvel Girl
I'll read it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm excited to read it
with a
tonight.
cerebral on her head. Yeah, I'm going to read this tonight as well.
Okay. I'll read it tomorrow.
Okay,
We'll
so
talk next week.
Let's get to the trailers.
yeah, I want to
Yeah.
get to these trailers because
That's it for comics.
that's it for comics. Now we're going to get into some TV and movies. We got 3 trailers this week that we want to talk about. We're going to start with Free Guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, in what order did you want to do it?
Well, I want to do it in the order it's
Okay,
in,
fine.
but
Yeah, that's a good order.
okay.
So I only saw the Free Guy trailer because George posted it on Facebook.
Yeah.
He didn't even tell me about it.
I honestly thought no one was going to like it.
Oh,
No, I like it.
I like it too.
I like it.
I liked it too.
Before I get into it, though, you wanted me to mention Jumanji?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I just came back from the new Jumanji movie.
Okay.
It was very good. I really dug it. I thought it didn't lag. It moved along really nicely. I felt like the storyline was very good. I actually not quite sure if I like this one or the first one better. It's kind of one of those situations, you know?
I'm okay with that.
So I really thought it was good. I mean, is it a must see? No, not at all. But I liked it. I thought it was good.
But if you like the first one, go see the second
Oh,
one.
if you totally. And The Rock cutting up the fucking scenery as trying to play Danny DeVito is great. And then, I mean, if you don't know, Aquafina's in the movie.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Okay, so
So is this continuing that kids are playing avatars? Like these
yeah, but
characters are
in
avatars?
this one, like I couldn't remember
It's a
how
video game.
Yeah, in the first one, the board game actually morphed in as time goes on. The game morphs with time, so it takes the form of whatever is the popular gaming thing at the time. So it went from a board game
To a
video
cartridge game, like an N64.
Yeah, but it was the whole cartridge, the whole system too.
Yeah. It
So-
included everything.
Because the
Wait,
system
but
has
so then
the
it's
jewel
not
on
with
it.
the time then. It's like decades behind still.
Hey, vintage stuff is still popular, man. It's more popular now than it was back then.
I-
But but here's the thing:
guess.
even the board game at the time it was introduced was still
Was
ancient.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's not with current, but it's moving along with time.
It's like with the century.
Because
Yeah.
even if you see the first movie,
The kids are like, a board game? What is this?
if you see the last Jumanji movie, that they make references to the first Jumanji
Right.
movie. Because the place Jumanji is where
Yeah.
Robin Williams' character got stuck because
Right.
his initials are carved into one of the things.
Mhm.
So,
It's still the same
and so no,
Jumanji
none of his
world.
initials. It
Cool.
says Alan Parrish was here.
Cool.
So,
Okay.
I think
so
they
did
even
you
passed
not
by
see
his, they
Jumanji
passed by his
at all?
house.
I've
too.
never seen Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've never seen.
Yeah, remember they
Hey,
passed
they
by his
passed by
house.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, his house is
It's
there.
actually really fun.
It's a
Yeah,
good
it's a-
movie. It's
it's a
worth
good movie.
watching.
Yeah,
It's
first-
like a fun, like if you got nothing going on
Yeah.
Saturday night, and you're like, fuck it, let's just watch this.
You have The Rock,
Yeah.
Kevin Hart, and Jack Black, and then Karen Gilligan's a nice addition as well. But really, Jack Black in the first one,
Playing a woman.
That's
being,
funny.
because a woman got his avatar.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Yes.
No, the movie's good.
The movie's good.
The movie's
Yeah.
good.
And this one is just a continuation of that, and this has got it's
I'll
it's
watch
worth
it.
a watch.
I'll
New
watch
It's very worth
characters,
a watch.
new characters for them to play as.
Okay, so now that I've done that, let's go into the trailers. So we got Free Guy. I dug it. I think to me it seems like okay, let's capitalize on him being this weird type of character from Deadpool, but we're gonna flip it a little bit.
Let George, because since George posted and he knew about it first, let
Right.
George
No, no, no.
explain the premise.
I mean,
Okay, yeah.
the premise is simple. I can do it in one sentence. You have an NPC in a video
Which
game.
is what?
Non-playable character.
Oh, you're right. A non-playable character. I'm sorry. I'm assuming non-playable character. So just the regular computer simulated AI people in the game that you're playing.
So if you're playing a game and the person you just walk by that is just randomly walking by is not doing anything, it's just in the game to be in the background, that's the character.
Yeah, essentially in like shooters and whatnot, it's cannon fodder.
Yeah. Cannon fodder, or just someone who sells you stuff at the market.
Right.
Like someone gives you a quest.
So he's not the only one. They're all friends in this world.
Exactly. So an NPC gains sentience in this world.
Well, decides to become more than just a non-playable, to become a playable character.
Well, that's what I mean by getting sentience. You know, he becomes aware of who he is and decides to become more. And that's the basic premise.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's nothing much more to it than that.
To me, this was the basic premise of the first Lego movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Essentially. And then they got, the next funny man that America's obsessed with besides Chris Pratt is Ryan Reynolds. Even though, yes, he's Canadian. I get it. But America loves him.
America loves him, yeah.
Oh.
We'll get back Justin Bieber.
The trailer, I'm like, this is Lego movie. And I was I get what it's doing. I'm like, this is cool. And then, of course, is the actress, Bae from fucking, oh my God, why am I forgetting the name of the series? And I love it.
No, I'm letting you figure it out.
Killing Eve.
Trailer's good.
I was like Eve, Killing Eve, the femme fatale from Killing Eve, and she's awesome. She's so great, but she's like 27 years old.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Jodie Comer.
Yeah, and she won the Emmy for best supporting actress for Killing Eve season 1.
Villanelle.
Look at that. I didn't know
She's
that.
awesome. I think the series is great.
Killing Eve. All right, so
A little tidbit there.
Yeah,
Kevin spotted in the background.
No,
No one's paying attention to.
I don't know. I like the trailer.
I like the idea.
I like. Well, here's the thing. It capitalizes on the whole Fortnite world, so for people like that, and then the what's it called? Role playing world.
Yeah.
So you have all that. So
gamers of all types. I mean, this is something that all types of gamers are going to be like, I wonder how they're going to do that.
it's something for everybody.
Yeah. And then there's definitely going to be comedy, and you have Ryan Reynolds.
That's
It's
right.
going to be funny.
Yeah. Like the whole scene where it's like instead of Glock in your pocket, no, huh? It's 2 blocks.
How about you, Joe? You said you
I watched it. It was good. It comes out next year, right?
Yeah. All these movies are talking about.
To me, it looks like next year's Ready Player One.
Could be.
Oh, a lot funnier though.
Like a big.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it needs more because Ready Player One was more Steven Spielberg, like fantasy, like 13 to 14-year-old boy. Right.
Yeah,
Let's see this one.
Yeah, that's his, bread and butter.
All right, come on, next trailer.
Okay, so we got Wonder Woman 84.
Finally, thank God, because after all the jokes that Joe has been saying, that we're not gonna get this fucking trailer and shit.
We almost got Ghostbusters before this fucking trailer.
Bro. It's funny, the day that you were complaining about that, the next day is announced, hey, we're gonna have the trailer the next day. I'm like, what?
They listened to our podcast.
There you go.
Dude, and I remember the teaser to this teaser trailer.
Yeah, right?
Was great.
I remember the poster to the teaser was great.
I didn't like the poster.
No one likes the poster.
I like the poster.
Oh, okay.
He likes it.
I like the poster.
I like the girl
it in the golden armor.
Hey, Twitter likes the poster too because it was all over my fucking Twitter feed.
It's that splash art type of
it's sick
stuff now. Yeah, I like it.
But it was cool now in this teaser trailer for Wonder Woman 1984 to get the context of her wearing that cool golden armor with the war helmet and the fucking wings.
That's her Kingdom Come armor.
That shit is awesome.
Then you got little glimpses of the invisible jet. You got
is that a jet?
I believe so.
And it looked like it.
You got the whole thing with Steve being resurrected. We don't know how.
I think it's tied to
Pedro Pascal.
He's lying to her or whatever.
I was like Maxwell Lord. Something about the way he's proposed on that infomercial of whatever you want.
Right. He's making her.
Right. I think he's literally a devil type of character. Maybe he's Hades personified.
Well, no, Maxwell Lord is a character that exists in the Marvel.
Right, but they might remix him.
Oh, yeah, might on him.
Okay. And make him a Hades character, whatever, granting people's desires, but at a cost, and that explains Cheetah.
I will say, that does explain Cheetah. I will say this: the one thing that made me cringe in the trailer was the mall.
Oh, the Stranger Things mall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's such a cliche.
Yeah.
I did know the soundtrack.
Oh, I dug it.
I thought it was
I thought
great.
it.
That like
Of course.
remix.
I've been listening
version,
to Blue Monday for like the last 3 days in the car.
Same.
So, I mean,
That like remix version of Blue Monday was cool.
so I dug the trailer a lot. You know, it's funny. The point where my wife was like, "No fucking way!" when she was swinging on the lightning bolts.
Oh, everyone.
Oh my god, yeah. Like,
Dude,
really?
the same day that was already made a GIF,
Okay.
Oh wow!
a GIF on Twitter.
No, you said it right.
That's crazy.
I have
No, we have debates about this randomly.
He said it right, Jeff. He said it right. Shut up. He said it right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What do
He
you
said it right.
Yeah.
What do you call it?
GIF.
It's a GIF. It has a G.
But Joe, the creator of the word pronounces it incorrectly. So is that correct?
If you created it, you can pronounce it
Right.
whatever
If he
you
says
want.
GIF, it's GIF.
Whatever.
I like GIF. I'm Brett.
It's peanut butter. Leave it alone.
Animated photo.
Yeah. I have a message from Jeff. He did not like that part.
The what? The
swinging on lightning?
Ride the Lightning? The Metallica reference?
He wants
Her to fly.
he wants her to fly.
Like I agree with you.
And
because
he's
I'm like-
tired of all these little
But then she doesn't need a
gimmicks.
jet. Why would she need an invisible
No.
jet?
No. She still needs the jet because even though she can fly, she's not like Superman. She can't fly fast. So she still needs the jet to get
She
on the
can
long
s-
distances quickly.
Correct, but she can still fly.
But she can still fly. But
all
I'm
these
giving you an
little-
explanation for why she would have the jet and be able to fly.
Me and him had the same
I know. I'm waiting for the flying
the
too.
swinging. We cringed. I cringed.
No.
I didn't. I love that.
I thought that was
fucking
cool as
sick.
fuck. I thought that was cool. Fuck.
Very
But
inventive.
I'm with you. I'm like, why
Right.
is she not flying?
It's
Daughter
inventive.
of Zeus.
That's
swinging
awesome.
on lightning.
Also, too, if she
Come
does
on.
another low swift kick again,
That seems to be her thing,
I'm
man.
fucking
Just
out.
get over it.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, that's an excellent kick. It's a proven tactic. Why break it if it's working?
She's Wonder Woman. She does not need the stupid kick. She can just punch
I
right
do
in
like
the
how she
awesome.
crushed the guns. With her
Yes,
hand.
that's
That was
awesome.
cool.
Well, she ejected a bullet from the barrel
And snapped it back.
Yeah,
with
that's
the
awesome.
bullet.
So everything about this trailer was fucking awesome.
Something that bugged me, but at the same time, I was like, I just shrugged my shoulders at it. It's like this like Spider-Man thing of like giving her this the connection with the villain. Like all of Spider-Man's villains, he has a personal connection with. And when I see her sitting at the table with Cheetah, and it's like, oh, she's gonna feel this betrayal with her in the movie, right?
But that's the
And I'm
character.
like, but I was like, but why?
But that's
That's
how
the character.
Cheetah and Wonder Woman have always been.
Yeah, that's the
to
character.
me, the way it felt like very Spider-Man-y, and I was like, fine, whatever.
That felt like Spider-Man, but not swinging off a fucking lightning bolt
That was fucking
or the
cool.
wall.
That
She
was
swung into the
amazing.
wall like Spider-Man did. I'm like, hey, I'm Wonder Woman.
Again, daughter of Zeus. Why not let her ride the lightning?
Dude, I took it as Metallica,
She's
man.
rode it before. She didn't need her lasso to ride it.
It was so cool.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to fly, but I thought it was cool.
I'd
I'd rather her
baby
do
steps.
that and give up the jet than the other way
Over,
around.
over under. How many times does she swing in this movie? Because if it's past 3, I'm done. I'm walking out.
Okay,
No, I
more
think
than
it's
3,
just
that's
that
a little
one scene.
ridiculous.
I think that's the.
It depends if she's
That's
crossing
Three
continents.
already in the trailer. She swings into the wall. She's
It depends if
Well,
she's
they're
crossing
also
continents.
playing up the whole lasso aspect. They got to figure out what to do
she
with
could
the
use
lasso.
She could use a bunch of. She's
Well-
using it in that hallway fight. She pulls you in.
Yeah,
she
but
slaps you with it.
The idea is that you have her have this thing, and you have
She's
to
not
be able
Spider-Man.
to do more than just tell truth.
And especially for a second movie, you need something new.
Yeah.
So okay.
The lasso has to be versatile.
Quit trying to find things wrong with these movies, will you? Please stop.
That is wrong.
Well, why don't you just ride the
Swing it
lightning
like
and
slick.
enjoy it?
No, I'm not writing no lightning.
Listen to the album; it's great.
No, the album is
What
great.
did we think about the humor, especially with the whole trash can?
I like that.
Oh, that's you. That's your department. You.
I liked it.
A man at a time.
I've
You love
never had
I mean, it was funny.
any problem with the humor in any DC movie.
It's funny.
It's just the Marvel movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's fucking
He
every
doesn't,
other
even like,
sentence.
he doesn't even like that the Tony Stark is funny.
Well, he doesn't like Tony Stark at all. That's his thing. He really doesn't.
But that's not something new. Like that's like since the comics. I've
Correct.
never
Me
liked the
either.
Iron Man
I'm with you.
stuff.
I don't-
Even though he's
Same.
been remade
Right.
multiple times.
Same. I don't like Tony Stark either. So.
I like Tony Stark.
I like movie Tony Stark a lot.
Yeah, especially movie Tony Stark.
Well, I saw the trailer for Doolittle, and you want to talk about cringing. I fucking wanted to leave the theater
Oh yeah.
and gouge my eyes
I
out.
saw the trailer.
Wait, there's a new Doolittle movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, with him.
yeah, and
And,
it's
he's,
a period
Oh.
piece.
and he's
Yeah.
taking it a very Johnny
And it's a
Depp,
period
Pirates
piece.
of the Caribbean way.
Oh,
no.
I mean, it looks like he watched Pirates of the Caribbean and said, "I want to do that."
Bobby, why would you do this to us?
Because he can do whatever he wants. He's a high-paid
True.
actor in fucking Hollywood right now.
Also, is she gonna use the Kingdom Come Arbor to fly? Because if she does something,
Well, I mean, it had the wings on it, right?
Yeah,
So I think she's gonna go.
but
into
the wings
air.
were always a.
right? But don't use this as a gimmick for her
But
to fly.
Well,
I don't know what to tell you here. The character
What, they shred the wings
Wonder
off when she
Woman
flies?
didn't start flying until like well past her origin.
well past Silver Age.
Yeah. Okay, she didn't start flying until much later in her origin life.
She still does it.
Okay,
Alright.
so if you're going with this, she's still learning to be who she is.
Which is what the storyline looks like it's doing.
She's going to eventually learn how to do this.
If the CW could do it for a lot less money with Supergirl,
Well, I just no. Well,
It's not about money or CGI or anything like that. It's just the
it's
story.
for the character. It's to keep character living.
And that way, if they're going to do a third movie, they have something else to do. Because if you just give her
Patty
everything,
Jenkins is already talking about the third movie.
if you give her everything
She's
off the
great.
back, what are you going to say for the third movie?
Look,
I cringed in the first movie.
I'm with you in the fact that I believe Wonder Woman should be flying. Okay,
Right.
I'm totally on board with that. But I don't have a problem with her not flying yet. Because if they're going to give me a story where it makes sense that she's not flying, I'm okay with it.
She has to embrace her godhood.
But
before
look
she
at the
can fly.
time that's passed. It's been a bunch of years.
And
has
she
to have learned-
hasn't been Wonder Woman in those years. Remember, she gave up that role for a long time.
But still, she can work on her little skills.
Nah, hey, everyone's different.
After Steve died, remember, she crawled into a hole. So
I guarantee the ending of this movie with the armor with the wings might fall off and she might still fly.
I was
No,
going to say
I'm
that.
fine,
learning
I'm
to
fine
fly.
with that. I'm fine with
maybe that's what they're going.
that. I think
And
I'm
then
fine with her
ends
wearing
with
the
that.
armor. I'm not arguing.
Maybe
the
that's
armor.
why they introduced the jet in this movie, because they're like, oh, she needs this jet to get around, and it's like,
And
no,
that-
she doesn't.
And then the jet becomes obsolete in part 3.
I want to steal something from Mark Ellis that they should kill him in every movie like they do Kenny South Park and keep resurrecting this guy.
Did you hear that, Justin?
Oh,
like it's
man.
like a Twitter thing that they're saying that like make a trilogy of Wonder Woman movie and in every movie Chris
Just-
Pine,
he
Steve
just
Trevor
dies.
dies.
I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. I think that'd be fun.
Like Kenny.
I wonder how Chris
That'd be
Pine
fun.
would feel at the end of that. He's like, damn it, they killed me off in all 3
oh
movies.
my god, you killed Kitty! You
Hey.
bastard!
Hey, as long as he keeps having at least one sex scene with Gal Gadot, I'm pretty sure he's fine with it.
I'm down.
I mean, we're all dead.
That'll be all I need.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the third one. Gotta say, I don't care whatever you say. This one, I'm the most excited for. This is the one I'm waiting for.
Same. I'm a huge fan of Ghostbusters.
I saw this trailer and fucking Wonder Woman, as much as cool as it was, completely went out of my head. And I was just like, I'm waiting for this movie.
So you want to hate me real quick?
You didn't like it.
I didn't watch it.
Go fuck yourself.
Come on,
No, I'm
man.
kidding.
I'm sorry. No,
Dude, we've had it in the dark since
I
it came
know.
out.
And I keep telling myself I was going to watch it at lunch.
At
I'll
least
watch it
told-
now.
At least it told us before we started the show we could have
So,
said
but
that.
I wanted to be the man of parts that way I could listen to what you're saying and be enticed.
Okay. So
Fine.
this trailer today.
The rest of us see it. Joe, of course you saw it.
You saw it.
Yeah,
Like
Joe-
six-
Yeah,
I've
so
seen
we're
it.
talking about the trailer for Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters
Afterlife.
which I've seen many
You couldn't find 2.5 minutes out of your life.
I couldn't.
Okay.
I was busy.
Okay, fade in. I've seen it so many times. No. So you get the whole thing starts off with car driving through what looks like a rock quarry, and then you get the voiceover from Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, and he's like, the friend he's with says, "Why are you here?" He's like, "To be honest, I think we're poor. We don't have any money,
Bro.
and my mom moved us out here because our grandfather left us this." Farmhouse. Now, at this point, you don't know anything about this trailer because I showed this trailer to my wife and I made sure she did not know that it was.
You don't read the name underneath it?
No, I made sure. I had to sit through the ad on fucking YouTube just so she wouldn't see the name Ghostbusters because I wanted to get a full reaction within the first reveal. So it cuts to farmhouse, and then and it cuts back to Finn and his friend sitting on this swing, and it's kind of over this mine shaft.
Right, sure,
Right?
right, yeah.
And it's like, well,
Weird.
why did you bring me up here? He's for entertainment value. And all of a sudden, the whole thing shakes, and everybody jumps off the swing, and then you see this green light coming up from the shaft. And then you hear the Paul Rudd voiceover. I told you I watched this a bunch of times. You hear the Paul
Word for
Rudd
word.
voiceover saying somehow a town that's not near a tectonic plate or a mine or something else
And we're shaking all
was
the time.
shakes constantly every day.
I love how not even loud music plays.
No.
Yeah, he did say that.
Oh yeah, it doesn't play loud music.
Right.
Constantly shakes
Shakes.
every day, and they show a mound of donut holes just kind of fall over and stuff like that. And then you see the ground shaking, everybody's freaking out, and then the three people crawl, the three stars crawl under the table, and it's Finn Wolfhard, it's Carrie Coon she was the female villain from the Avengers movie, the one
Emo.
Proxima Midnight.
Oh, yeah.
She's the mom.
She's the mom, and then there's a girl, a sister, who wears glasses and has weird haircut.
It's Theo from Haunting of Hill House.
Okay.
And she was the Warren's daughter in Annabelle Comes Home.
Oh, okay. And so she wears brown glasses and she's got a weird haircut. So you see her and she finds something like a puzzle in their house on a wall or something or on the ground.
I think it was on the kitchen floor.
Yeah. And then you see her, and the next thing is they're in class, and Paul Rudd's the teacher, and they've got a ghost trap sitting on the table. And he's like, "Oh wow, cool replica." They're like, "Replica of what?"
Yeah,
it's a ghost trap. What do you mean? You don't know this? And then they start talking about, they show footage
from the
first movie. It was like in the 80s, New York was like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You know, ghosts were everywhere. And now you haven't seen a ghost for 30 years.
Right.
Does that kind of negate the female Ghostbusters movie?
I think it does.
I think it also negates the second movie.
It might. I don't know where that's going to fit in.
Because they only showed the first movie.
They did, yeah. So it goes further because it talks about how, your dad never explained to you what this is. Like, it's just me and my mom.
Yeah, it negates the women, the girls one, because Paul Rudd's character says, like, it's been 30 years and there was any ghost activity.
Yeah.
That's why there's a meme of them being Thanos away.
Oh.
So
snapped away.
So you see her, she had crawled into like this under the house, like little secret area. And if you remember from the first movie, he says, "What do you do for fun?" And he's like, "I collect spores, molds, and fungus."
Yeah.
You see all these petri dishes full of spores and fungus and everything like that.
So she's Egon's.
Yeah, because she finds like a.
Well, the glasses give away.
The glasses give it away, but her grandfather was Egon's grandfather. Was Harold's.
Right.
So then it goes through a whole bunch of different things, and then Finn finds the old Ecto-1 and goes joyriding in it. But there's like a really cool scene at the end where they're sitting in the car, and one of the seat doors flips open, and the car shoots out. They're like, "Oh my god, it's got a gunnery seat!" And then they're chasing ghosts down Main Street in this little town, firing the proton pack at it.
The siren was going.
With the siren going, and then it's also kind of got this voiceover from the first video. Call it fate, call it luck, call it karma. I believe we were brought together for a reason.
Wasn't that Bill Murray's?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Bill Murray. Yeah.
Awesome trailer.
I'm down.
Written and directed by Jason Reitman, who is a great writer, great director, son of Ivan Reitman. Mm-hmm. I am fucking in on this movie, and I'm honest. I'm being honest here. As much as I'm excited to see Wonder Woman, I'm more excited for this movie. This movie, I'm more excited for.
Yeah, it looks like it might be done right.
So Justin, I saw it too. I wouldn't call myself like a huge Ghostbusters fan. I've seen the first two movies and I like them. But I didn't grow up, forcibly like a huge fan of
this.
Whatever.
That's something you got to understand about me.
Right,
okay?
You did.
Okay, I did. When I was a kid, before Ninja Turtles, before Power Rangers, it was the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Right.
That was my fucking show.
Me too.
That was the show I watched every Saturday morning and every afternoon and come home from school. I had the Proton Pack. I had the Ghost Trap. I had the PKE meter. I had all the toys. I had the Ecto-1. The only thing I didn't have was the Firehouse. It was too expensive. My mother never bought it for me. But I had the Ecto-2. I had all of that shit.
Oh, the helicopter.
I had all of that.
Jesus.
I was a huge Ghostbusters fan. I love Ghostbusters. I love Ghostbusters
too.
Up,
right?
Yeah. So my point for you guys is like, even I was not that, Justin. I was not. I'm on this trailer, George, still gave me goosebumps.
Dope.
It paid such homage to the movies, like so well, and it gives you this like Stranger Things feel where there's like something funny going on, but it's still grounded with some kind of stakes.
But who are you gonna call?
Even my wife, granted, it helps that Finn Wolfhard's in the movie, but even my wife was, did they make a Stranger Things movie? That's what it felt like at the beginning. But here, this is how much of a fan. This is my text tone.
The chat. Proton.
Whenever I get a text, that's the Proton Pack.
Yeah, the Proton Pack.
So I love Ghostbusters. Is
same.
Like, that's my thing. So it's beyond He-Man, beyond Power Ninja Turtles.
For me, it's He-Man.
He-Man, I know. I got a special place for He-Man, but to me, strapping on a Proton Pack, going out and hunting ghosts. When I was a kid, that's what I wanted to do more than anything else in this world. Was I wanted to be a fucking Ghostbuster. So this movie gives me a lot of hope.
That's the only reason I went to Horror Nights this year.
Oh, because of the
Ghostbuster, yeah.
Oh, okay. But that was the thing. I mean, I was totally excited, and I'm.
I agree. It was a bit of trailer. Now, My one minor gripe was
Uh-huh.
something that the Ghostbusters is known for, and both Joe and Justin could side with me on this, is that it's known mostly for its humor. This trailer did not show me any humor. There was no jokes.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that people forget, is that if you watch the first movie, it's not a comedy.
The second
It's
one.
funny.
It's funny, but it's not a comedy.
Yeah, it's played for like
it's played
more
for
horror.
seriousness. Yes,
Yeah.
it's played for
The
seriousness.
second movie was
The second one leaned more into that
comedy.
comedy area, but it's like watching Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 and then watching Beverly Hills Cop 3. Okay? The first two
great.
movies are very much played as action movies with some comedy in them. The third one is just a straight comedy.
Yes.
Okay?
100%.
So that's
Leave the
the
weapon
thing
at
a lot
home.
of people are like, because that's what they did with the new Ghostbusters, the female Ghostbusters. They just made it a comedy,
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but that's not what they had comedic actors in it, but that was kind of the sell of it, was the fact you have all these comedic actors, but they're playing it for real.
Right.
They're not trying to be. I mean, they were being funny, but that was not the pull of the movie. Okay, that was just the thing that offset the horror aspect of the movie.
Yeah.
Because when I watched that movie when I was, I'm sorry, I cut you off again.
Oh.
When I watched the movie as a kid, I legitimately was scared of that movie. Okay,
Yeah, the first one.
the shit that happened in that movie fucking freaked me
The end
out.
of that movie is scary.
The beginning of that movie is scary. With the, and the library.
Yeah, the library.
I mean, fucking with the get her, and then that fucking freaked me out.
I
for
saw that.
years.
I saw that really young. I thought all libraries. I grew up literally very young, believing all libraries were haunted.
Yeah, right.
Question for
I can
you.
see that.
You think what jumped onto the car was the dog?
Totally,
Okay.
total
Same.
demon dog.
Same. You
Come
think,
up with
you think
Zool.
Gozer's back?
Possibly, that could be the connection. Didn't really set him away; just kind of
Right.
trapped him.
Right. I think the containment unit is down there.
Possibly.
And it breaks.
Well, that could be. He had a secondary unit set up, and then
I don't think
that's
it's
what's-
secondary. I think that's the unit.
Like he
Oh.
moved it there.
Because I don't think they have the
afterwards.
firehouse anymore. And I would love to see the firehouse, but I don't think.
Well, remember the firehouse blew up,
Correct.
but they had it in the second movie. Though.
True.
Yeah, but yeah, but that could be why it's green at the bottom.
Right.
Something happens, like the
And the containment
containment
unit.
unit. Yeah,
That'd be dope.
That would actually.
because that was
make sense.
always the sorry.
Do we get
Let's go into
I'm saying no, that would make
Do
sense.
we get Slimer in this movie?
Huh?
Do we get Slimer in this
Yeah, I
movie?
think he's the first ghost.
Oh, I think that's the ghost that the
That they're
kids
chasing.
are going after.
Yeah, they're chasing down the street. I think
Yeah.
that's the first ghost.
Oh, yeah, he was green.
Yeah. Green and it looked
You gotta
like
have
plum
Slimer.
green. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
Slimer.
you have to have Slimer. Stay Puft?
No.
No, God, no.
No,
Yeah, I wouldn't want him either.
something else maybe, but
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
it's,
down.
Something
they,
else
don't have,
ridiculous.
they don't have the big towers to kind of have the state. So you really
Yeah,
don't
this is
need
a small
that.
town,
Yeah,
right?
it's a
Yeah,
small
it's a
town.
small
So, but they could have the same idea where it's like you create the kill the destroyer, and one of the kids thinks of something like really stupid, Gumby or something.
Oh my
I don't know.
No, please.
I think it'd be SpongeBob long before it's Gumby.
Hey, still. Gonna be scary, man.
So we're all excited.
Hell,
I'm excited.
Hell yeah.
it's what, spring of next year or summer?
Summer.
I think it's something.
Makes sense. To me, it was like a good summer movie.
Right.
Yeah.
The only movie that they're dropping in the middle of Dead Town, I think, is the middle of they're dropping some movie that people are waiting for, but they're dropping it right in the middle of the dead zone. I can't remember what it is now.
Well, with the time, we should review just one thing, and I'm assuming Mandalorian.
If you want,
Okay.
and we'll do both. We'll do both Watchmen next week.
Yeah, because there's a finale this week anyway.
Yeah, so we could do both at the same.
Yeah.
Just know that the
Watchmen was amazing.
Watchmen was amazing.
Yeah.
If you're not watching it, you need to be watching it. Please get on this one. This fucking show is great.
Every episode keeps getting better and better and
yeah.
better.
Didn't know that the
It's a little frustrating how Twitter, social media, all this crap keeps talking more about Mandalorian and not Watchmen. When if I have to compare them, Watchmen is significantly better.
I'll tell you exactly why. Disney Plus show versus HBO show.
Who does
What's more accessible?
Wow, I
No,
would say
Disney
HBO.
Plus, because at the cheap price, they had, I forgot how many subscribers on that one day.
Yeah.
Let alone all the friends
one day, I
who are
think it
getting
was-
shared for free or got it afterwards.
Yeah. Supposedly that one day it was like 20 million.
And
On that one
Mandalorian
day.
is just a 30-minute episode
Yeah.
every Friday, and the memes coming out of it are glorious.
and Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda, he's the main centerpiece. You have This Is the Way, you have I Have Spoken. Every episode has a zinger for social media to go wild with.
I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot of quotable lines in Watchmen.
Watchmen's a little darker too. You can't have everybody watching that.
No, right.
And the people who make the memes,
Mandalorian,
they're not 30-year-old men. They're younger.
Here's the thing: the Watchmen is less accessible for that reason. It's a little bit more adult than Mandalorian is.
Yeah. You can have a 12-year-old watch Mandalorian. You can't have him watch Watchmen.
Yeah, there's really nothing real racy happening.
That'd be a really edgy 12-year-old.
It's Kevin. I'll play.
What do you little boy? What do you like about this episode? The dildo. Yeah, okay.
Well, 12-year-old me, you asked 12-year-old me what was my favorite, type of genre. I would have been like sci-fi, like Starship Troopers and RoboCop. They would have been like, get the fuck out of here. What year are you from?
I'm with you as far as that goes. But when I was a kid, you slapped Star Wars on almost anything, and that was where my mind went. Star Wars. Yeah, that was where it was. And here's the thing: I hated the Droids TV show, and I hated the Ewoks TV show, but they were still Star Wars.
So you watched them.
I watched them.
All right, so let's talk these fillers of Mandalorian.
Fillers.
Fuck yeah. Fillers.
So we didn't talk about the one where he goes.
The sinner.
He brings back the baby to the guild. He hands it over to Werner Herzog, and then he starts being concerned with the fact that he starts to care for the baby. So he's like, what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do to it?
Some parallels.
Yeah. So he ends up deciding, he goes and has his suit made, because we haven't talked about it either. He gets all the Beskar, which answers a question from Empire Strikes Back, because you see in the scene from Empire Strikes Back when they're evacuating Cloud City, there's a guy running out and he looks like he's carrying his juicer with him. And you're like, what the fuck is this guy carrying his juicer for? You end up finding out in this episode that it wasn't a juicer, it was actually a safe. Mm-hmm. So, that's why he's carrying.
The Beskar.
Yes.
Right.
So the Beskar has his whole suit made.
I think he's missing a thigh piece.
Maybe. I don't know.
But pretty much the cuirass, which was damaged, he got that redone. The other Pauldron, he got done. And I think he got one thigh piece done. And the one of them, I could have sworn still looks brown.
I don't know. Excuse me. So he has that done. And he gets confronted by other Mandalorians, one of them voiced by Jon Favreau, who are basically kind of bullies, I guess you could say.
Yeah, they're trying to put him down because he's out there. It's only one Mando at a time.
Well, the idea is that he's trying to use Beskar that was taken during the Purge, so they feel it belongs to everybody. It was stolen from them. Yeah. So he's like, you shouldn't be, this.
You're associating with them.
Yeah, this should be all of ours.
Empire.
And even the woman who's creating the armor for him is like, he's going to give the scraps to the foundlings. So
it's not even scraps, because she says there's so much here. We have plenty to do a lot with.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when he doesn't take his emblem, because the kill that he got to get that wasn't
a signet.
No, the signet.
She's like, he explains about the Bloodborne is what caused the damage. She goes, okay, that will be your signet. She goes, I can't accept it. It wasn't an honorable kill.
An enemy helped me. He's like, why? Oh, an enemy. You didn't know it was my enemy. And then she's like, okay, the extras will go ahead and make the Whistlers, right? Is that what they call them?
The Whispering Birds.
Whispering Birds. Mm-hmm. That is a cool weapon.
Yeah.
Dude, that to me paid homage to something from Iron Man.
Oh yeah, with his
Okay.
It even came out the same way from the artist.
Yeah.
So Mando keeps
Favreau.
asking the questions of all, what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it? Like, it's none of your business. You got paid. You're done.
Right.
And it's like, here, you can have your choice of any job you want. He gives them the bag and says, what do you want to do?
Go for it.
Take one. And he's just like, he decides he's going to break the kid out. Right. So he does it by himself, or does he go to somebody?
No, by himself.
He does it by himself. So he goes to break the kid out.
And it is a hell of a scene.
Yeah,
yes.
That was really cool. You're getting the idea that because everybody keeps mentioning midichlorians, so I'm assuming that's what they're going to extract from this character, because he's strong in the Force.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they're going to extract midichlorians from, because everybody's connection to the Force is gone since they killed all the Jedi.
Right.
So they're trying to maybe find a way to get another connection to the Force again. I don't know.
Hey, Force-enabled stormtroopers.
Who knows? So he breaks the kid out. He gets out.
That whole scene was fucking incredible.
Awesome.
To me, it felt like a Batman scene, fight scene.
Yeah, it was all in corridors.
Yeah, especially because of that and the way he kept fighting in the shadows. Yeah, it was sick.
So he gets the kid out, and immediately everybody's tracker in all the bounty hunters' fobs start going off again.
Yeah.
So all the bounty hunters come out, and they're like, "Look, you're going against the guild. What are you doing?" And
give us a kid, maybe you'll live.
Yeah, maybe you'll live. And
Grief Kargas is what tells him. It's like, look, I'm your only hope.
Yeah. So he decides, fuck this. I'm taking the kid and I'm leaving. So he starts fighting them all.
Oh, another beautiful shootout, Western style.
Felt like John Wick to me.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like
Because-
he broke the high
Uh-huh.
seas
Just-
and then
especially John Wick 2 when they're all
Right.
after him.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. That's what it felt like
So
to me.
in the middle of the battle, it looks kind of bleak for him. Looks like he might not make it, and then all the other Mandos show
That
up.
was dope.
And
Jetpack
that's
in
it.
it.
And everybody. And then they get him to safety.
Yeah.
He take them all out. He's like, "You can go." They leave, and then was it 2 Mandos or just one fly next to a
No,
ship
it's
with
just
their
the one.
jet? Just
One.
one Mando
That has
flies
one
next
in
to
it.
the ship
Yeah.
on his jetpack, gives them the little salute.
Yeah.
He's like, "Man, I gotta get me one of those."
That's so funny because people, especially on Twitter, from the beginning, they're like, "Why doesn't he have a jetpack like Boba?"
Yeah. So that's where that one ends. He flies off with the baby, and then
Someone on Twitter said because he doesn't have enough XP.
Oh,
He has the skills necessary to use a jetpack.
I'm sorry. This show has been like moving like
An RPG.
right. It progresses like a game.
Or yeah, a
Right.
role-playing game where
But then now
level
you
up.
get to these other 2 episodes where it's becoming a little frustrating, where the plot is not moving forward.
Yeah, so from when he leaves that planet, he gets to he's trying to hide away
In that episode called Sanctuary.
in Sanctuary, where he lands on this remote planet, as
Yeah.
remote as he can get,
yeah.
so he can hide out for a bit.
He finds out he finds out he leaves the baby on the ship, and then he finds that he goes into the town basically and finds Cara Dune,
Yeah.
who was an ex-rebel.
No, but the baby comes with him anyway.
Oh, that's right. He was
Whatever.
going to get the baby, and he's like, "Screw it, come on," because the baby was right there next to him. He's like,
Yeah.
"All right, come on."
Yeah.
Yeah,
They got
he
him
keeps
food.
trying to leave the baby behind, and it's like, nah, I'm coming with you.
So she goes in and she's like, "Look, I'm here. You need to move on."
Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, and then you find out the Empire, or what's left of the Empire, is on the planet because they're trying to attack. They've actually sided with a tribe on the planet to attack this other tribe.
That's not my understanding.
No, that wasn't my
No.
understanding. My understanding
They
was that
took the ATS.
they were
Okay.
using the AT.
My fault.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
Well,
I
no,
think.
there's a lot of things have happened between now
True,
and
Yeah,
true.
then.
no,
We're trying to keep everything in.
There's no
together.
empire. No empire on the planet.
Just because the ATST,
Right.
I was okay.
How
whatever.
they got it, I don't know, but
Yeah.
It was left over.
That's how I took
When
it.
the
Yeah,
Empire
okay.
broke down, it was left over.
Okay.
Probably.
And I only watched this episode once, so I was like,
Oh,
because because it's filler.
no,
But it did produce some of the greatest memes of Baby Yoda.
So of filler episodes, I still dug Sanctuary because it reminded me very, Seven Samurai-esque.
Yeah.
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 Where it's just 2 fighters defending a defenseless village against, marauders.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. I still dug it. I took it as like, okay, this is the only filler because this show is only gonna be like 8 fucking episodes.
yeah.
But then we get the other one. I'm like, bro, how many more fucking filler are we gonna get?
Well,
this is
just
not
one scene, just to mention in Sanctuary that I absolutely loved, is a scene where she's talking about his helmet. And she's like, when was the last time you took it off? Oh, yesterday.
Yesterday.
When was the last time you took it off in front of people? I think it was about their age, and he points to like a bunch of 7-year-old kids.
Yeah, they're like all playing with Boda, with the
Yeah.
baby Yoda.
Yeah, and he's just like, the Mandos took me in when everything was over. This is how
That's
we
to
do
me
it.
the first hint, the way he calls
Yeah,
them that.
another.
Or it's
person
like,
not even a man.
Oh, does that mean he's not Mandalorian?
Yeah, he's not.
Well, no,
Well,
Mandalorians
Mandalorians
are
a
religion.
race.
It's a religion, right?
It's like Jedi. They're
But he doesn't say like, oh, the tribe took me in.
Right.
He says the Mandalorians
Mandalorians.
took me and raised me as their own.
You don't say the tribe of Jedi took me in. You say the Jedi took me in.
But then the Mandalorians even refer to him as Mando. So
because
he has no designation.
No, because the
he's
Mando is
Mando
the one that
now.
goes out. Only one goes out at a time.
But he's Mandalorian
That's what I
now.
understood.
They took
Yeah, that's what they said.
Well,
And that was confusing too.
There's a lot of retcon, like there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
are happening in this episode that kind of contradict things that happened in past. Because remember, he says he doesn't take the mask off. He doesn't, if you take the mask off in front of somebody, you don't put it back on.
Yeah, that's the
Yet
end of it.
in the Rebels cartoon, fucking Mandos and that show were taking it off. I mean, Sabine, she
True.
always took her mask off.
100%.
So
And
that could be explained away as like maybe it's this specific tribe.
But they were talking about it more like Mandos in general. Because
In
even
general.
the kids in that place had
Sure, the
masks on.
founders.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
maybe
I
it's
took it as
Orthodox.
just this tribe. Maybe there's just this tribe of extremists. That's how I took it.
It's possible you could write it off that
But they
way.
have-
But then that's where I'm getting frustrated. We're in episode like 5 or 6, and we're still debating certain aspects of his culture and character.
but I think that's by design because
Yeah.
they expect the show to go on for a while. They can't give it all to you in one
Mhm.
lump sum. It's got to be over time.
You know when they could have done that? In hour-long episodes.
They don't want hour-long episodes.
Dude, that's not
Show's
what
too expensive.
the maker wanted to do.
So what's Game of
expensive.
Thrones?
Show's too expensive.
And they weren't sure it was going to profit, especially after the
look at the
Solo
show.
movie.
Look at the show. Does the show look like any other television show on TV right now?
Right now,
it looks like a fucking movie that's just been cut up into half-hour segments.
Into chapters.
Yeah. So, really, at the end of the day, just go with it. You can't change it. So this episode...
I'm just frustrated with the lack of answers.
But
Right, and then we just keep going on these side... again, it feels like a video game. We then... It's like, don't worry about these 5 questions that you have. Let's go on the side quest for another 30 minutes.
After
Sanctuary. God damn it, man. Can we stop doing side quests?
It's not a side quest. He was trying to leave the planet. He got shot up. So
right. I'm really aggravated with the fucking gunslinger episode. That's the main reason.
Right.
My main,
after Sanctuary, we get the cool fan service of going back to Tatooine.
And Mos Eisley.
Oh, yeah.
When they called that in Mos Eisley, I was like, that's so cool.
Dude,
and you also get Amy Sedaris as the girl.
She was cool.
I have to give pretext to it. I fucking hated this episode. It was just member berries. It was just like, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember this and that. Oh, remember this too. Bro, by the end of it, I was like, just fucking end this goddamn episode.
I love it.
Kevin is so angry, man.
Now you sound like me with Warner Bros.
I know.
You know what I like about Star Wars?
I fucking hate it.
Nothing that came before. That's what I like about Star Wars.
All I want is information, no story.
Don't fucking refer to anything that's happened before because it's not going to be what I want. Yeah.
I didn't.
Come
It's
on,
not a
man.
story. This is not like, hey, we're at Tatooine, but another part. No. It's the same bar, the same sand, everything was the
same sand.
Dude,
It's Mos Eisley. So
dude, I was, oh my god, I was so frustrated with this.
Well, here's the
fucking
thing.
episode,
First of
man.
all, Mos Eisley was only in...
Dude, and you know what made it worse? The Toro guy, that acting was fucking horrendous.
Oh, they got
That actor was awful.
The wannabe Han Solo?
Yes.
He's got it so
Down
bad.
to the same seat.
You know,
the same seat as Han Solo.
They were up too.
You know, I wish it would have happened. I wish he was Dash Rendar.
Oh my
No?
god.
I
Come
kinda
on, man.
wish Mando would have shot him.
Dash Rendar would have been a lot better than that loser.
Mando did shoot him.
Yeah,
Like early on, though.
Well, he did. Well, that was the point of the character.
Yeah, like take the fob.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you.
He was supposed to be annoying enough so that you didn't care about him when he killed him.
he was also from Corellia. I was like, bro.
Right.
And that was his first job to get into the guild.
I got mad. I'm like, really? He's from Corellia, just like
He
Han.
was trying to get in, and he took the most difficult job. Who takes the most difficult job to get into a guild?
But it was awesome. I loved it. The bikes were great.
You guys have to talk about this episode because I have
It was
nothing.
great.
I have
I
nothing
liked
good
it.
to say. About it.
I just didn't like the Corellia.
Hey, a lot of fan service. It was there. On Tatooine. The cantina scene, beautiful.
I liked it. I liked
Mulan as a sniper.
Mulan as a sniper.
Well, I liked her.
Wait,
She was
okay.
dope. She was
I
awesome.
have to say that scene was fucking amazing.
The sniper battle,
Yeah.
where they were waiting for a night and they go on the
Yeah,
speeders.
and then using the light grenades. That was cool.
That was fantastic.
That was really cool. So, like Justin's point, there's nothing else right now on TV that does shit like that.
No.
The speeders looked great.
Yeah.
That's
But
I
it's
like.
and me being like really stupid,
God.
like grippy, I was just like, how are they standing there? If they're hovering, why aren't they making a noise? Or why is there no wind blowing? I was like, how does that technology work?
anti-gravity. The repulsors.
Here's the thing. Like, focus back a little bit. Don't go so. Don't
No, I
go
know.
so good for
I
it.
know.
But they even had bounce to them. Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
I give
what
credit.
reminds me that Star Wars is not sci-fi. It's fucking fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Jedi's are just space wizards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
With laser swords.
With laser swords, yeah.
Careful. Not for me. Apparently, the whole laser sword thing blew up this week.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't care.
No, I dug. I liked this episode more than I liked the Sanctuary episode.
I like it.
Because I thought I liked the aspects of the Sanctuary episode, but I liked this one more because I liked Amy Sedaris' character. I liked. I do enjoy fan service. I do enjoy when they go back and they refer to other
The
things.
little droids are cool.
The little droids.
The
I
pit
did that.
The pet droids.
I love this is the introduction of Ming Na's character. In fact, when they, spoilers, when they killed her or
She's not
supposedly
bad.
killed
She's not
her,
bad.
I was like, man, I expected more from her.
She's
And then
not
you
bad.
got to see it at the end, so
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
She's
I think that's Giancarlo Esposito's character.
Actually, I think it's Grief Karga.
Oh, following Mando?
Because
Okay.
when he walks, he's got his son's
That's true. He
spurs.
does have a cape.
yeah, where it was Boba's. I'm like, it's not Boba.
people fucking retarded.
Will you
Stupid.
stop with the fucking
No.
trying to get Boba Fett? Not you.
Okay, yeah.
People
Not
in
me.
general. Stop. Not you. Not you.
But
You
I'm
and
sorry.
me are on the same page.
Stop with
Stop
the
with the
Boba.
Boba Fett.
Hold on. In their insane defense, this fucking episode was so member berries. I would have not put it past it that it would have ended with Boba Fett being there.
Boba Fett's dead.
I know that. Tell that to the fan base.
Oh, they're the ones who thought that the child was like Yoda and stuff, and I'm like, guys, calm down.
Yeah,
Look, I like this episode. I mean,
Same.
I dug when they, like you said, when they said Mos Eisley, I was like, oh, cool.
I was like,
And then I was questioning, is that the same bar from Star Wars? But then it had all the same weird animals in it, so I'm like, it's gotta be the same bar. Except now they've loosened their whole no droids thing because droid is a.
Well, yeah, some time has passed. There's less segregation.
hey, no droids.
But I thought all that stuff, even the reference to Moise Espa, because that's the one from first one.
4.
Yeah, not 4.
1. Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Phantom Menace.
Thank you. Phantom. That's the place where Anakin was. He was in Moise Espa.
Right.
So Mos Eisley was in Star Wars. So that stuff's okay with me. I like, because that's one reason why I watch these shows. Okay,
I did hate the guy though.
when you have a show like Star Trek, right, and you're watching something new on Star Trek, when they go and they say, hey, and they show a reference and they say, remember that shit we used to do over here? I love that stuff because it creates it actually continues to create a history for the show.
Even his blaster looked like Han's. Now you're getting me mad.
No, it really did. His outfit kind of looked like an updated Han.
You don't like my
idea? He looked like a Han fanboy.
You don't like my idea of Dash Rendar?
I don't like Dash Rendar.
I know you don't like it.
I don't know how many ways I have to tell you that.
But Dash Rendar is a lot better than Dobo over here.
I will agree with that. When you said, okay, I will say, when you said Dash Rendar, I was like, I'll admit it.
I really like the Sanctuary episode more, not only because of the Seven Samurai homage that he was paying to, but you actually got character moments with him, with that widow and stuff like that, and I thought that was awesome.
You got info
in this gunslinger episode. You got nothing. There's no character progression in that fucking character. We didn't learn anything new. All we did was it reinforced us he's being chased and he's a traitor.
That's like this was filler and Sanctuary wasn't, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with you.
Yeah. Huh? It's a side quest. He had to repair the
ship. Side quest.
Yes.
Oh God.
He had to repair the ship to get out.
I felt that one of the things you learned about him is his knowledge, because as soon as they mentioned the girl,
he knew
exactly what it was and not to fuck with her,
not to touch her.
But he still did. You also learned about his character type. Because up until this point, I wouldn't have expected him to take somebody under his wing and show him how to do stuff, and now he's doing it. Because he legit was like, "I'll help you."
He won't do
it again. I honestly thought that was against character from what they had shown us previously.
Yeah, but I think,
but I don't think that was his intentions, because he was going to take the fob, and then Toro broke it.
Yeah, but what I took that more as is this: the baby is actually causing him to be more than what he was.
Right.
So he's growing as a person over the course of this show.
He won't do it after this because he turned on
got screwed.
He's not gonna trust somebody.
I hope he does
that. True. So that could just he could go back around and just reinforce that he needs to be tighter than he has been, because he's been really loose up until this point. I mean, he was going to leave that baby on the planet, and he's been trying to ditch the kid since he got it.
Yeah, because to me it makes sense. He's like, yo, they're after me, but then. Again, something better in Sanctuary. He learns that they're after the baby, not him.
Yeah.
So he's the only thing protecting it against them. That's why I like Sanctuary more.
Because the guy said they would have killed Yoda if it wasn't for him.
Right.
Baby Yoda, excuse me. Right.
Boda,
whatever.
But, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You like what you like. You like what you don't like.
Dude, God forbid the next episode he goes to Naboo or something.
They're going to Hoth.
Oh my fucking God. I'm sorry. If that one is also filler and just a bunch of memory berries, I'm fucking tuning out.
No, I can't. It won't be that. They're going to progress back to the story. This was a side quest, like you said, and we're back on track.
You really were you watched this episode. I mean, character aspects aside, you really saw all the stuff, all the member berries, as you call it, and was like, no, fuck this. That's your legit feeling?
No. It wasn't just like that tweeting. I'm like, cool. And then it's the Bart. All right. And then it's another Han Solo type sitting in the same seat. I'm like, okay. But the blaster. I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? By the end of the episode, I counted maybe 5 or 6 member berries. I was like, dude, I don't need this masturbatory shit of hey, remember Star Wars? I was like, dude, that's what I'm watching the show for. I don't need to constantly be remembered what I'm watching. I'm watching this because it's a different corner that we've never explored. That was the pitch that Jon Favreau gave us for The Mandalorian. And then when they give us the same corner, not only the same corner, it's the same very corner that they have fleshed out in 2 different movies.
I'm gonna let you in a little secret. You may not know this. You're not the only one watching it.
Yes, for the main.
It's kind of for everybody.
For the main people.
Okay. It's kind of like you have to. What's the word? Fuck.
I'm not. As you can tell, I'm not a big fan of fan service.
Apparently.
But really?
You have to.
I don't mind
cater.
references.
You have to cater to the lowest common.
I don't mind catering. But what you just did in Gunslinger was you fucking baby fed. You spoon fed a bunch of babies.
Kevin hates being spoon fed.
Yes.
I would too, because I don't know what that is. Spoon fed?
Spoon fed.
Spoon fed. Baby food.
Yeah, my brain, sorry.
I don't know. I kind of like not spoon fed, but I didn't really take it as spoon fed. I kind of took it like, look, you know,
tidbits,
you remember all that stuff you liked about Star Wars?
Yeah, here it is again.
And
what do you mean again? We haven't seen it in a while.
We're giving you, it's not like I just saw Star Wars yesterday for the first time.
It's not like just released on DVD or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just stuff. It's all referring to stuff that happened 40 years ago.
That doesn't make any sense because the whole McClunky thing was exploding, and that's a change from A New Hope.
Wait, what?
Huh?
The whole McClunky thing.
McClunky thing.
The Greedo saying McClunky before getting shot by Han Solo. That was all over the internet of a new change, another new change made to A New Hope.
Yeah, but that always happens. I mean,
at this point, every time they say, look, like any real Star Wars fan knows that Han shot first, and all that other shit means nothing. Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't even give a fuck.
He wouldn't give a fuck if they made his character, if they killed his character off in the first 5 minutes of Star Wars, which is what he wants anyway.
Yeah, he wanted it. Yeah, he did.
Whatever. I'm done. I didn't like Gunslinger.
Oh no, you don't have to. I'm just trying to understand this. I hate fan service bullshit. That's all.
I'm thinking fan service is more than just a reference or two. When all it is pandering to the fans, I don't need that. Especially that if it's not moving the story forward.
I could agree with that.
That's it. That's my only problem with it. Okay. It's because it's within this fan base that constantly complains about shit that's not fan service, and when they're given what they want, I don't like it.
I got you. That's all I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, that's all I'm coming from.
I as a friend, I just want to know where my friend is coming from. Yeah. I don't understand, and I want to understand. So that being said, we're all excited for tomorrow. New episode of new episode of Yoda.
I mean, why
the Boda show. No,
Baby Yoda and friends.
Yes,
and one friend.
Yeah.
I want that show now. Muppet Baby style.
Oh gosh, so it's like Baby Yoda, a little Ewok.
Baby Mandalorian.
Yeah, a little Ewok, a couple of Jawas.
Little Jawa.
Why Ewoks? I'm going to have Ewoks.
Well, a lot of people, if you're born after, what was it they said?
83.
Yeah, right, you're a fan of Ewoks.
I'm born in 88. I'm not necessarily a fan of Ewoks.
I fucking hate Ewoks.
Okay, at least we're there.
Okay.
They look like cracked out Care Bears.
We're all excited for the next episode. Be aware, a lot of people don't know this, be aware the new episode of Mandalorian next week will be on Wednesday, not on Friday.
Cool.
Because of Star Wars.
Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Because apparently this episode is going to have a sort of a little tie or something.
Tie into episode 9,
in the episode
I read that.
So,
what?
Yeah.
They're going to reveal it's a clone.
God,
to get you prepared that Rey is a clone of Sidious.
Stop. I'm gonna kick you out of
and then Joe and I will collectively hive mind walk out of our respective theaters.
You will sit through the end of that movie, then say shit.
I will.
How are we all set up for Star Wars next week? Are we
Friday.
Saturday. What do you got?
I don't know.
He hasn't watched the trailer yet.
Okay.
No, I watched Star Wars.
I got Thursday.
I'm thinking about grabbing like a Thursday 10 o'clock showing and you just sit in the really low seats and leaning way back and just be like, I'm just going to watch it like this.
Supposedly there's already spoilers on Twitter, which is crazy.
It's everywhere.
There's spoilers on Twitter already, man. It's 2 weeks out.
The world premiere is Monday. This Monday.
Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dang.
The one.
I might have to do what George is doing and might look for like a Thursday showing or something because I really don't want spoilers, bro.
By the corner of your house over here at the AMC, they have like 7 or 10 o'clock showings for like Disney, not the Disney Digital, the IMAX Digital and whatnot. And it's just the low chairs. And they have like 2 or 3 rows available.
You're going to have to stay off Twitter.
I know.
From now.
Which is hard because that's like my newsfeed.
Or Instagram. They're going to...
Instagram, whatever. Okay, but Twitter works out. Like,
because
Twitter is so like... in the instant, like in the know,
in the moment.
right?
I gotta remove.
And anything big
Oh,
gets
YouTube
shared
too.
over and
YouTube
over.
will share
and
the
over.
shit out of it.
You can keep an eye out for this one because I'm going to cancel it. I already have another ticket.
Oh,
But I can't tell which showing that is. If it's digital or if it's this or that.
All right. Well, we're excited for Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Star Wars.
Sorry. Okay, so we're excited for Star Wars
and the finale of Watchmen.
and the finale of Watchmen, which is this Sunday.
Which I can't believe it's the end already.
Yeah, really. Sad to see it go.
Yeah, we have to proportion out our discussions for next week then.
Well, it'll be before almost. So it should just be Watchmen and Mandalorian next week. So you should be
Right,
okay.
but we have to make sure we have
Well, hopefully
time for both.
Yeah, we can make that work. So tune in next week. More Watchmen. Finish up the Watchmen. More Mandalorian talk. More comics. Maybe some more toys. We don't know. Getting close to Christmas. We'll see what happens. Follow us all social media. All places to get your podcasts. Rogue Nation Pod. Let us know how we're doing, and we will see you all next week.
This is the way.
Go.